It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
It's time for the excitement of NCAA Division II football, featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's play-by-play coverage is being brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Powered Beck and Matzaref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Floor Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, Inferno Brewery and Andy's Pizza. Standing by is our TV10 broadcast team. So let's head to the field and get today's pregame show underway.
And good morning across the Eastern Panhandle, or wherever you may be tuning in. Welcome into Ram Stadium, where today it's the Shippens University Raiders coming in at 2-6, being welcomed by our Shepherd University Rams coming in on a 4-game win streak with a record of 4-4. For TV10 Sports, I am Matt Crawford. To my left is Travis Smith. And Travis, a beautiful day for football in the Eastern Panhandle of West Virginia, and two teams that are moving in opposite directions.
And again, you look at this Shepherd football team, winning 4 straight. This is an opportunity for them to get their head above water for the first time this season. And talking about getting your head above water, the ship be sinking for Shippensburg. They are at 2-6. They didn't do much better last year. They went 2-9. Just a program that is struggling, and Shepherd's going to look to capitalize on that today.
No doubt about it. Shepherd coming off of a tight one last week. It was a 26-23 win. And it was a big fourth quarter for East Stroudsburg. It was 3 quarters of shutout football for the Ram defense, and all 23 of those points for the Warriors of East Stroudsburg coming in that fourth quarter, but doing just enough offensively and just enough defensively to get that win last week. And you can't really say a much-needed win, because the last 3 before that were much-needed wins as well, but a game that at the end of it you heard Coach Ernie Mcook in our post-game interview, you could just kind of feel the relief of, hey, that was a quality opponent. You can no longer say, they only beat teams with sub-500 records. That was a staple win for them last week.
And it was a playoff atmosphere. It was the homecoming crowd. Also, East Stroudsburg, they traveled very well because they were expecting to come in here and get a win. And Shepherd did a good job of really jumping on them early on, really did a good job of harassing the quarterback, and then you open up a whole can of worms when the backup quarterback comes in, and Shepherd has just had their struggles all year long with the backup quarterback coming in and providing a spark, but the Shepherd defense was able to make just enough plays down the stretch for the Rams to walk away with a much-needed win.
Looking forward to today's matchup. It's a rivalry game, the 23rd meeting between these two programs. Shippensburg University just up I-81, the closest geographic Division II school to Shepherd here in Shepherdstown. This is the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. W. Harley Miller Systems providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio, video distribution, and more. Call them at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. We'll hear from the man in charge of the Shepherd football program, head coach Ernie Mcook, coming up next. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%, Parsons' goal of financing for all, and Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com. Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com.
We welcome you back to the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Our pregame coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg at 1400 Shepherdstown Road. They became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
Here with Coach Ernie Mcook of the Shepherd Rams. Coach, from 0-4 to 4-4. This win last week, East Stroudsburg, a team that was on a 6-game win streak themselves. What did you feel like really went well for you guys in that game?
I thought we were able to play really solid on defense for 3 quarters. I thought our defense was outstanding flying to the ball. We were able to establish a run and be very solid offensively. We had the 1 turnover late in the second half, or early in the middle of the second half, but I thought we played a really solid game in all 3 phases in the first half. And I thought we set the tone, and we were able to hang on.
For you, what does it mean that you guys were able to go from starting 0-4 to now you've evened things up at 500? For you, what does that mean? What does that say about your team?
Well, I think I've said it even when we were struggling at 0-4. These guys were never hard to get to come and go to work. They focused on trying to, do their job, do it the right way. I think we have a team that has a lot of resilient young men, that tremendous amount of grit, and we have some great leadership.
You did have the second game now where a backup quarterback comes in a little faster, a little more mobile, comes in, runs around, and gets the other team back into it. What did you think maybe the cause of that, where Slippery Rock was kind of able to do that, and East Stroudsburg, they didn't come all the way back, but that backup quarterback did come in and give you some problems?
Well, it's, when you have a backup come in, the play caller now is playing with house money. And you have nothing to lose, so you take some shots. They were able to make a few plays, and I think at that point they were trying to make a comeback. So I thought that they just made a decision. Hey, we'll take some shots, and they were able to ball bounce their way a few times, And credit to East Stroudsburg. They're a really well-coached, hard-nosed football team. And I think our guys did what they needed. We did what we needed to do to win and finish the game.
Shippensburg coming up this week. What have you seen from them that you feel like you got to focus on?
They're better than their record poses. Shippensburg and Shepherd, when our two teams play, you can throw the records out the window. It's two teams that are really close to each other. We have a lot of Shippensburg and Shepherd alums that live in the same neighborhoods. So this game is going to have a lot of energy, a little bit of a rivalry, a regional rivalry. I think they're very good on defense. I think that they play extremely hard. I think they have some skilled guys that can really create some issues for our defense. And then they're always solid on special teams. So it's going to be a tough, hard-nosed football game. Coach Mack does a great job. His staff is, he's been there a long time. And, Shepherd is a good game for them, and Ship is a good game for us.
What are a couple of things that you guys are going to be focusing on to get that win against them?
Well, we've got to do our thing that we have to do is what we've been doing. We have to make sure we take care of the football. We don't want to turn it over. The only way we want to give it up is to kick it to them, either after score or a punt. We got to play sound on defense, be great alignment with our assignments. We've got to run to the football. We just got to play a fundamentally sound game and make the ordinary play extraordinary.
All right, Coach, thanks for the time and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Once again, our pregame coaches interview is brought to you by Parsons Ford at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number one by making you number one first, Parsons. We'll be back with more on the other side of this break. This is Shepherd University Football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons number one for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became number one by making you number one first. Parsons.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee-wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling.
Omaha! Omaha!
Rocks local market.
Most insurance companies see you as a claim number. Most law firms see you as a case file. When their top priority is their bottom line, you only get a fraction of the attention that you deserve. At the law firm of Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson, it's personal. We listen to our clients to see the whole picture, because every part of you is important. For a team built on relationships and results, call Burke, Schultz, Harmon & Jenkinson at 304 Lawyers. Or visit us at burkeandschultz.com.
Welcome back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. Both bands getting ready to go out on the field together. Shippensburg's band making the trip down I-81, and it looks like the pregame festivities will include both bands here at Ram Stadium. For Shippensburg, coming in with a record of 2-6 on the season, 2-3 in PSAC East play, and Travis, a team that offensively you don't look at on paper and feel overly scared of. I think that's the best way to put it. You look what they've done on the ground this year, and 73 yards per game. You're going, okay, maybe they're just a pass-heavy team. Through the air, 224 yards per game. So a team that is averaging under 300 yards per game on offense, that is unheard of in today's college football.
And just looking a little bit closer at that run game, only averaging 2.7 yards per carry, only 2 rushing touchdowns all year long. So they've been forced into a passing team kind of by default. because they just have an anemic run game. And if they have a chance to try to pull out a win today versus Shepherd, they're going to have to find some way to get some type of production out of that run game and try to alleviate some of that pressure that the quarterback in the passing game is going to be facing today from that Rams defensive front.
And you look at, and this may not be one of the numbers you have right in front of you, percentage of times they have capitalized in the red zone, putting it across the goal line. How about just 26% on the year? 6 touchdowns and 23 trips into the red zone. So just an offense that isn't putting up a lot of numbers to begin with, but also not able to capitalize when they are moving the football pretty well.
I mean, recipe for a bad football team. They're not scoring a lot of points, but they're giving up a whole bunch of points. They're pretty much giving up double the amount of points that they're scoring. It's going to be difficult for them to get many wins, and that's pretty much the reason why they only have 2 this year. But again, you have an opportunity to go out there and get a win today, so let's see if they can get some things corrected and give the Rams a run for their money.
We talked about just 73 yards on the ground per game for Shippensburg. Let's flip that to the Shepherd Rams, who are coming off of their best game running the football in the last time out against East Stroudsburg. On the season, Shepherd now rushing for about 162 yards a game. And how about 5 yards in attempt when they're handing the ball off to either Grant Swinehart or Jordan Barnett, a team that is just running the football as well as anybody in the conference right now.
Absolutely, and coming off of that game last week, like you mentioned, 212 yards on the ground, averaging 4.4 yards per carry, also having a touchdown and doing a good job of protecting the football. Like we mentioned last week, the biggest turnaround in this Rams program that's kind of fueled this 4-game win streak has been turnover differential. In those wins, Shepherd has been +6 in the turnover differential margin, so that's going to be key for the Rams to extend that win streak to 5 today if they're able to take care of the football and also force some turnovers on the defensive side of the ball.
And you talk about Shepherd throwing the football. Mike Hardyway, not a guy that you're necessarily going to write home about every week, but you look at his stat line, and it's just solid. It's not doing anything that is going to win him any accolades at the end of the year in terms of player of the year or offensive leader in this, offensive leader in that. But you look at what he's done so far this year, and 1,700 yards, 11 touchdowns, just 4 picks. He's been as efficient as you can be and not feeling the need and not really having to put the team on his back.
And that's what you want, and that's what you're expecting out of your your graduate signal caller, your veteran signal caller. You want him to be able to manage the game. Sometimes that gets a bad rap, but any quarterback worth their salt, they're going to have to be able to manage the game. And if the running game is that red hot, you're not going to be asked to do much. You're going to have to complete a 3rd and long every once in a while, but that running game did a good job of keeping Shepherd out of those 3rd and long situations, so that's really going to set up your play action pass, and that's where Mike Hardaway has really pressed his advantage last week, completing 66% of his passes for 179 yards, also having 2 touchdown passes coming off of those play-action passes where it was just busted coverage on the back end because everybody had to sell out to try to stop that Rams rushing attack.
Including what was that 4th down conversion that ended up being the touchdown they really needed at the end of that game to hold on. It was really good to have Malachi Brown back as well, both of those receiving touchdowns in the hands of Malachi.
And he's just such a versatile chess piece that you can have out there on the field because you're going to have to respect his running ability if you show that jet sweep fake, and he's also an accomplished wide receiver. That was what he was brought in initially to be in this Rams offense. So when you have somebody like that, a veteran football player like that, you can use him in a variety of ways, and it really puts a lot of stress on the defense to try to account for him each and every time he steps out there on the field.
Shepherd looking for their 5th consecutive win, their 7th consecutive win over these Raiders of Shippensburg University when kickoff comes in just about 19 minutes. On the backside of this break, we'll go ahead and hear from a couple of Rams that were big in the win last week against East Stroudsburg. That coming up next in the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at WHMsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Ardenelville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
Hello, Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare insurance agency. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. The Medicare annual enrollment period is here. Medicare plans have changed drastically this year. We are here to help you with a no-charge review of your coverage. Don't get taken advantage of by a call center. Call us at 304-283-0864. Stay local with Bodwell Insurance Solutions.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds?
I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Our player interviews are brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors, John Everson and Phil McCoy. Stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or give them a call at 304-263-4343.
Here with Shepherd Rams running back Grant Swinehart. Grant, you guys have turned it around from 0-4 to 4-4. What's it meant to you guys that you were able to turn the season around like that?
Well, it means everything, especially it being my last year playing football, off to an 0-4 start. Nobody wants that. Nobody expects that going into the season. So really being able to battle back, I think that's a testament to the leadership that we have and the coaches just putting the work in each week and not giving up.
From your perspective, what do you feel like you guys have done in the last 4 games that maybe you didn't in the first 4 games?
I just think, building upon the losses and learning from them, not just being discouraged, but going to work each week and knowing that there's a lot of things that we are good at and kind of capitalizing on those things. I think just improving every week. I'm sure you've heard it before, but our motto each week is to go 1-0. We're not thinking about the game after the next or our previous losses. We're just trying to go 1-0 every week.
How did you feel like the performance went against East Stroudsburg, the run game in particular with you guys, you and Barnett back there?
Yeah, well, it might be a surprise to some people that, we were able to run the ball as much as we did against them and some of the other teams we've played, but it's not really a surprise to us. We know that we have a lot of talent back there. We're very talented up front, and we just, like I said, try to build on it each and every week, not try to be satisfied with where we're at, but just try to get better.
When it comes to you and Jordan, kind of the two-headed monster in the backfield there, what have you guys been focusing on for yourselves to really get the run game going? Obviously, you need the offensive lineman in front of you, but for the two of you guys at running back, what do you guys sort of focus on, and the rest of the backfield as well?
Well, I think we complement each other really well. I think me and Jordan both have unique strengths, and we try to learn from each other. That's what's helped me a lot, is learning from what things Jordan does well, and I think he tries to learn from what I do well, and we help each other out with reads and, breaking down film and whatever it might be. Like I said, we're just trying not to be satisfied with where we're at. We're not trying to be okay with being good enough. We want to be better, and we want to improve every week. So,
I won't make you speak for Jordan from the other perspective, but what would you say if does something stick out that you feel like you've taken away from watching Jordan or the rest of the running backs play this year?
Well, I think it's quite obvious. He runs really hard, and he keeps his center of gravity and his pad level low. That's something that I try to imitate in my game, and the way he kind of just bounces off defenders and keeps rolling. That's something I'm trying to implement in my game. Every week that goes by, I try to take a little nugget of information here and there and place that into my game. But that's one of the biggest ones I've been trying to work on. So.
All right, looking at Shippensburg this week coming up, what have you seen from their defense that you feel like you guys are going to have to attack to be able to have more success?
Even though I don't think their record shows it, they fight really hard and they play really well together on defense. Their front seven have made a lot of plays this year. Their secondary loves to come up and make plays and make tackles. I think that's what we haven't seen with a lot of other teams. So I think it'll be a very interesting matchup between us. I think that we're going to look to run the ball and spread the ball out and throw it just as we have each and every week. But yeah, we're looking forward to it. We, like I said, want to know each week. We want to not capitalize on the past success or the past failures that we've had, but just look forward into a tough opponent. So.
All right, Grant, thanks for the time and good luck.
Yes, sir. Thank you very much.
Here with Shepherd Rams defensive lineman Vince Fluke. You guys are on a 4-game win streak now. Started 0-4, now at 4-4. To you, what does it mean that you guys were able to turn that around into now being 500?
I definitely think it's impressive. I think it's something to hang our hats on. You know, we could have put our heads down after starting 0-4 and just kind of thrown in the towel, but we've definitely stuck together and done everything we can to turn this thing around, and just looking to run the table and do everything we can to go 1-0 every week.
In your mind, what do you feel like you guys have done better in the last 4 games versus what you did in the first 4 games?
I think defensively we've definitely hung in there a lot better. We've been able to stick together and rally together, especially when things get tough. I think we've been able to create turnovers, which is big, being able to set the offense up the best we can, and honestly just playing as a team and just rallying together.
You were part of one of those turnovers this past week. What did you see on that play, and how did you feel about the performance overall against East Stroudsburg?
Yeah, I thought the East Stroudsburg game was just a great team win. Offense, defense, and special teams, we all played together, rallied together. We made the plays that we needed to, and it was just a complete game. And, being able to force a turnover is always a great feeling on defense.
Looking at Shippensburg this week, kind of the rivalry in the PSAC for you guys with how close they are. What does that game mean to you guys, and what are you focusing on for their squad?
Obviously it's a big rivalry. Always looking forward to playing a team like Shippensburg. It's always exciting every year, and really just looking to continue our success and, like I said, go 1-0 against them and play the best we can on the defensive side of the ball so we can set the offense up for some great opportunities.
What do you see on Shippensburg's offensive side, what they like to do, what they're best at, that you feel like you're going to have to deal with on Saturday?
Yeah, definitely. They do some things that can trick our eyes, so it's all about just reading our keys and, locking into our job, because they definitely do some things that can kind of trick up your eyes and have you going one way and they go the other, so we just need to lock into our assignments.
All right, Vince, thanks for the time and good luck.
Thank you.
That player interview was brought to you by the Marius Group and Ameriprise Financial Advisors John Everson and Phil McCoy. You can stop by 1270 Winchester Avenue in Martinsburg or give them a call at 304-263-4343. We'll be right back with more Shepherd University football on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube.
You feel that in the air? The precision passes of expletives thrown from a jersey-clad warrior to his TV, his dog, or anyone that'll listen. It's time for tailgating and showing off those parking lot picnics. Just remember, when you come out of the fourth quarter to 5 new dents, remember Cody's Auto Body is your MVP. I can erase those dents, just not the memory of your team's awful record. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Marius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Beck & Surf Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? lawpbm.com.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures, including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere.
Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Let's talk about what to do after a car or truck accident.
First, call 911. Then call Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers.
Let us handle the insurance company so you can focus on getting better.
Being injured in a wreck is enough stress. Let your doctor handle your medical issues.
And let the Skinner brothers handle your insurance issues.
If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for trust.
Welcome back into the W. Harley Miller Systems pregame show. It is Military Appreciation Day here at Rams Stadium. Both bands on the field and our honorary color guard making their way off the field. We understand the local chapter of the American Sons of the American Revolution being our honorary color guard. We're expecting a flyover from the 167th Air Wing today as well. And we understand for the second game in a row, the game ball might be delivered via parachuters. We at least have a little bit of an idea that's coming this week, because last week we're just seeing things fall from the sky, wondering why everybody's sitting around at 12:05 waiting for kickoff. But we understand that should be coming up here as part of the Military Day festivities, Military Appreciation Day festivities, and we want to thank anybody tuning in that is a active duty military member or a veteran of any of our armed services. We appreciate your service at home and abroad. The pregame show brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, providing custom integration services like home and office automation, home theater, networking, audio video distribution, and more. Call W. Harley Miller Systems at 304-350-1931 or visit WHMsystems.com. Let's go ahead and get into our keys to the game, brought to you by CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location at 650 Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg, where owners just care more. Travis, keys to the game.
First, looking at Shepherd, you want to win that turnover battle. Like we've mentioned, during Shepherd's win streak, they have been +6 in the turnover differential margin, and that's something that they want to look to improve upon today, and they will have ample opportunity to do that. Also, Shepherd, get off to a fast start. You have to realize that this Shippensburg ball club, they haven't won a lot of games this year. They've been struggling a bit, so confidence is going to be an issue. So if Shepherd's able to jump on them early, get this home crowd excited, that might be enough just to go ahead and make Shippensburg falter here early on. Also, that Shepherd defense, you want to get after the quarterback. You want to force some turnovers. You want to create those opportunities. One of the best ways you can do that, and that's what Shepherd has done well here recently, is dial up a variety of blitzes, guys coming in off the edge, using a variety of different people, not just linebackers and defensive linemen, but also getting those DBs involved in the blitz packages. If you're able to do that, get after the quarterback, that's going to help you be successful. And you're looking at the Shippensburg ball club. They have allowed 31 sacks so far this season, so protecting the quarterback has been an issue for the Raiders. And for Shepherd, finally, clean play on special teams. Don't allow any big momentum plays. You also don't want to try to put the ball on the turf and allow Shippensburg to get the ball with good field position. So if they're able to play a clean game in the special teams phase of things, they're going to have a lot of success today versus this Shippensburg ball club.
Looking forward to it. We're just about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Our keys to the game brought to you by CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, all in one convenient location, 650 Foxcroft Avenue in Martinsburg, where owners just care more. We mentioned earlier the 23rd meeting between these two programs was a heated rivalry back in the day, and now that Shepherd is in the PSAC and now establishing themselves truly back in the PSAC, this becoming a rivalry, at least a regional rivalry again. You have a generation of people that don't necessarily see this as a rivalry just because there was that gap in playing. But you look at 23 meetings now with kickoff today. The prior 22, Shepherd leads 12 wins to Shippensburg's just 10. And the last 6 have gone to the boys in gold and blue from Shepherdstown. Shepherd looking to make that 7 in a row with a win today. The Rams already on the field. They came out while the national anthem was being played. They're in the gray uniforms today, the ghost of Shepherdstown uniforms. Happy Halloween to all those who celebrated yesterday as well. And for Shippensburg, they are not fully on the field yet. Their captain's making their way to midfield. They're going to be in the road whites today.
And looking at Shippensburg, they're going to have to try to, one, help out your quarterback. He's been under duress all year long, so you're going to have to use that pass to try to set up the run. Use those running backs out of the backfield. That's something that they like to do, and that's something that they're certainly going to have to do a lot today. Just something to get the ball out of the quarterback's hands quickly and don't allow those variety of blitz packages that Shepherd's going to throw at them to get home.
You hear the roar from below us. A good road crowd on hand as Shippensburg just up I-81 making the trip. The coin toss done at midfield. Shepherd has deferred after winning the coin toss, and Shippensburg will start with the football here in just a few moments. Shippensburg so far this year, the season started week 1. It was a 23-7 loss at home against Bowie State. Then they went to Clarion, lost by just 7 in that one, 31-24. Week 3 is when things really started to go south for them. It was a 42-0 loss when they went to Slippery Rock. Their first win of the season came in a 10-7 win against Bloomsburg. Week 5, they were at Kutztown, another 49-0 drumming in that one. Second win of the season, 41-28 win in Week 6. That was at home against Millersville. A 24-7 loss at East Stroudsburg 2 weeks ago, and then last week it was all Lock Haven, 35-21. After this, the next 2 to close things out for Shippensburg. It is a home game against Westchester and a home game against Cal. For the Rams, still yet to come this season, it is a road trip, our last road trip of the year next week. It is a 1 p.m. kick at Lock Haven. Then the Rams will finish things off at home in 2 weeks on the 16th of November. It'll be a 12 p.m. kick against Seton Hill. Still a lot to play for Shepherd. And Travis, I think it is realistic to think that Shepherd could end this season as a 7-win football team.
And wouldn't that be an incredible turnaround? And you really have to give a lot of credit to this Shepherd coaching staff and give a lot of credit to these players for keeping the faith, continuing to work, continuing to improve, because a lot of teams, you start out a season 0-4 and you lose a couple heartbreakers in those first 4 games. Just to be able to show that type of resilience and bounce back and string together some wins like this, and just to even be in the outside, like on the fringe conversation of having a chance at some postseason play, that's quite a remarkable turnaround for this program this year.
No doubt about it. Still waiting for our game ball presentation. Once again, it's coming in via airmail, if you will. Parachuters last week, parachuters again this week, as we're now getting some eyes going up to the skies. I believe the parachuters making their way into Ram Stadium. And definitely an added bonus last week, and one you were expecting some more fun for Military Appreciation Day.
So I wonder if it's just going to be the one guy or is it going to be 3 guys like it was last week?
3 last week, and that same crew ended up going down I-70 to Baltimore and being at the Ravens game on Sunday. So double duty for them last weekend. As I do see him now, Travis, if you look straight up from our vantage point, you can see him coming down. And still a while to go at this point, looking up and seeing those. So let's go ahead. Let's send it back to the studio before kickoff, and let's take a 60-second break. We're just moments away from kickoff here at Ram Stadium. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV10. We are back in 60 seconds.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
And we now welcome you back into Rams Stadium as the game ball now hitting the 35-yard line as the three parachuters make their way into Rams Stadium. And this is becoming tradition for them 2 weeks in a row. We'll see if we see them in the final home game of the year against Seton Hall in a few weeks. A good crowd on hand on the home side, still filling in a little bit. And like we said, a very good traveling squad for the Shippensburg University Raiders. We were talking about this before the game. Just going by the Raiders this year. Historically, it's been the Shippensburg University Red Raiders. Everything now apparently making a little brand change, if you will, just going by the Raiders this year.
And that is good to see. You know Shippensburg has been struggling this year as far as having success out there on the field, but you do feel reassured that they're able to travel and bring this many people with them. It is a short trip right down I-81, but the fact that those folks are able to make that trip, come down here and show support for this program, let you know, this program, they still have a pulse. They still have an opportunity to get back in it. And we talked about, like other schools that were the perennial cellar dwellers that are now enjoying some success this season in Lock Haven or Clarion. So, the blueprint is out there. If you have a program that's struggling, there are ways for you to get back into winning football, into competitive football, and that's something that Shippensburg's going to have to maybe try to steal a page or two out of those playbooks to try to get back into relevance and start winning some of these football games.
All right, we've had the extracurricular fun before the game. Now let's play some football. Shepherd looking for their fifth win in a row to get above 500 for the first time this season. Shippensburg looking to stop a skid and get win number 3. The Raiders will start with the football. Standing back at the 5-yard line, their two return men are Ethan Anderson and Khalil Durham. We've got a freshman and a sophomore as the two return men. Sam Collins doing the kickoff duties for Shepherd as he has done since Millersville. It'll be Keith Baker doing the field goals and extra points. Collins approaches the 35, and we are underway. This one coming to the near side and bouncing about 2 yards deep into the end zone, a touchback, and the Raider offense making their way onto the field. Our opening kickoff brought to you by Brown Funeral Home and Cremation, Robert Fields & Sons, a family-owned full-service funeral home, proudly serving the area since 1880. Riley Gunnels, the quarterback for the Raiders of Shippensburg. So far on the year for Gunnels, 1,742 yards. He's averaging about 218 through the air per game, 10 touchdowns and 8 interceptions, 184 completions on 293 dropbacks. Running back to his left is Arneson. There is the snap. The give is to Arneson right up the middle. Gain of 3. Brings up second down and 7.
That time, Devin Harper leads the charge for that Rams defense. And Shippensburg, they know they have to try to put something together on this ground game to make this defense play them honest. But that's going to be an interesting matchup. They do have some quality wide receivers. Gunnels is a gunslinger. He's going to drop back and force the issue down the field. So see if these Rams defensive backs are up to the challenge this week.
Shotgun formation for Gunnels. Arneson's to his left in the shotgun. Play action pass firing to the left side. That one incomplete. The intended target, that was a number 5, Marcus Sweeney, the 6'1 redshirt sophomore from Hershey. The intended target, good double coverage on that far side, and a quick third down and a chance for Shepherd to get the football back quickly. We're not even a minute gone in the first quarter.
You know, the Rams certainly have Sweeney as a marked man coming into today's game. Had a monster game earlier this year versus Millersville, where he had 6 catches for 122 yards and a touchdown. So he is a player that can hurt you if you don't keep an eye on him. But you see Minka out there drawing that defensive assignment has really been coming on here as of late.
Trips to the near side, one receiver to the far side. Arneson, the tailback to the left in the shotgun. Little formation shift, still 3 to the near side, but they spread out a little more. Gunnels now back to pass in the shotgun formation, looking over the middle, a curl route right at the sticks, and that one caught and should be enough for a first down, hauling that one in. That's an 82. That's Tom Smicer, the 5'10", redshirt freshman from York, Pennsylvania, enough to move the chains and a first down Raiders.
The Rams DBs playing a little bit cautious when to keep everything in front of them. Gunnels was a little bit late on that throw. You don't want to be late on those hitches, but because those defensive backs were giving him such a cushion, you were able to take advantage of that luxury and pick up a nice first down to get the ball rolling for Shippensburg.
It's a Ship first down, ball up to the 36-yard line. This looks like we're going to have a little wildcat look as Khalil Durham now going to take the snap, the direct snap. He's across the line of scrimmage up to the 40 and taking a tackler with him up to the 41-yard line. And a little trickery early in this one, Travis.
And there's no reason to be shy at this point in the season. You've only won 2 ball games all year long. So if you have any trick plays or something that you think might work, there's no reason to keep it to yourself. You got to try a little bit of everything and try to create some type of spark for this offensive unit.
And Riley Gunnels, that number 7, still standing on the sideline at about the 29-yard line. They're going to go a wildcat look again. It's Durham standing behind the center with Arneson to his right. There is the snap. They give to Arneson right up the middle. He has stood up after a short gain of about 2. Brings up a third down and manageable. About a third down and 3.
All right, Gunnels checks back in, but I'll tell you what, that was a nice spark that Durham was able to provide when he came in running that wildcat look. Made a good decision to give to Arneson on that play and picked up some hard-earned yards on that second down attempt, setting up Shippensburg for a 3rd and short.
Little jumbo package here. Power pistol to both sides. Now they will rearrange. 2 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Blocking tight end to the right. Gunnels drops back to pass again. A quick curl that right near the sticks, and I believe that's going to be enough. Is that Sweeney again? It is Marcus Sweeney on the reception, and another first down. And right now, Shippensburg's offense efficient. 1, 2, 3 first down. 1, 2, 3 first down.
Sweeney did a good job of not giving up on that play. He had a couple of defenders on him. He is attracting a lot of attention, and rightfully so. And that time, not only able to make a catch in traffic, but able to pull a couple of defenders past the line to gain.
Yeah, Sweeney playing in just his 6th game of the year. 1 receiver each side of the formation. Gunnels back to pass again, looking quick, and that one caught on the near side. The defender tried to jump the route, but nothing doing. Deep into Shepherd territory now, inside the 25-yard line, down to the 22 on the reception. That's Javon Parker. First time we've called his name today, and it was Minka trying to undercut that route and just missed. Didn't time that well at all.
And again, it's something you don't want to try to give this team any type of confidence. That's one of the things that you don't want to face as a team that back against the wall, really nothing to play for. You come out and have a couple of big plays here early on. Now you're facing a much different animal. Now you're facing a team that believes. So, Shepherd, you want to play conservative, but you got to be smart in how you use that.
30th reception of the year for Parker. Arneson with the carry off the right side. He gets back to the line of scrimmage, and
Muley
not much more, maybe just a yard. They will give him a yard. 2nd and 9 coming up for the Raiders.
Muley there, Johnny on the spot to bring him down for a minimal gain. Muley just an all-around, just a terrific defensive lineman. Can do it on the edge, can do it inside, strong against the run, can create his own pass rush. Just a versatile, well-rounded defensive lineman. I'm sure this Rams defensive unit happy to have him back.
And yeah, good to see him back as he was banged up a couple times in the second half last week. Shotgun formation. Gunnels has Stokes to his right. Gunnels now back to pass, looking down the field. He's going to take it himself. He's inside the 20 and dives ahead near the 15-yard line. They're going to say down at the 16, so a gain of 5. And another third down, and a chance for Shepherd to play that little bend, don't break defense and maybe force a field goal opportunity. We know this is the area of the field that Shippensburg has struggled in. Red zone touchdown efficiency, 6 for 23 on the year. So they get to the red zone 23 times this year. Not bad at all. Only converting into 6 points 6 of those times. Let's see if they can find the end zone here. Just looking for a first down right now on a 3rd and 5. Ball at the 17-yard line. Gunnels drops back to pass, looking right. He's got a man in the flats. That one caught right near the sticks, but it looks like he might be about a yard short.
He went to his big tight end on that play. Landon Bailey, the 6'4", 230-pound redshirt freshman, coming into today's game, having 18 catches for 171 yards and 3 touchdowns. One of the better young tight ends that you're going to find in the PSAC. Some of these guys, they'll fly under the radar. They're not playing on a good team as far as the overall record is concerned, but they certainly have a handful of good football players on both sides of the ball that you got to keep an eye on.
They marked Bailey out at the 14-yard line, and there is a Ram down on this near side of the field. While they tend to him, let's go ahead and step aside, take a 30-second break. 9:29 remaining in quarter number 1. We're scoreless here in Shepherdstown. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
Will Johnson, the Ram, shaken up on the play, and the medical cart coming to the near side of the field, and not what the Ram faithful want to see Johnson, a key member of the secondary for this Rams defense.
And a good sign for the Rams that Johnson was able to hop over to the cart, but never really a good sign when they have to pull out that cart to help him to get off the field. And you've seen this Rams defense, they have chosen to use a variety of different looks, a lot of different personnel packages out there on the field, and Will Johnson was one of those guys that they could rely on. He helped them out in a variety of ways. So curious to see how this defense is going to adjust not having the availability of his services. Because you know the secondary, they're going to get a workout today. You know Shippensburg, they're going to pass the ball. So it's an opportunity for this defensive backs to get some things corrected and having a possibility of making some plays.
4th down, Shippensburg's offense going to stay on the field. 4th and 2. Ball at the 13-yard line. Gunnell's going to take it himself. Little option look, cuts up, and gets what looks like just enough for the first down, waiting for the official signal. And it is a first down.
Gunnels doesn't often run the ball, but certainly has prototypical size for your quarterback. 6'4", 215 pounds, can move, but they don't ask him to run around a lot. But most of the time he's running for his life, like we mentioned. Got sacked 31 times so far this year, so he's having to run out of necessity, not because he wants to.
His net yardage is only negative 77. To give to Arneson off the right side, breaking tackles in the backfield now inside the 10-yard line. Down to the 9. Gain of 2 on first down. Ball was snapped at the 11, so Shippensburg can get a first down without crossing the goal line.
And Shippensburg having success running the ball off the right side. That's where they got a little bit more beef on their offensive line. They got Peter Diaz and also Robert Chikirkton over there as well. A couple of 300-pounders and able to create some space on that last attempt.
2nd down and 8, ball at the 9-yard line. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. Gunnels drops back to pass, looking right, fires in the end zone, and that one caught. It was Javon Parker, his 2nd reception on the drive. This one giving the Raiders 6, and they take the lead with 7:49 remaining in our opening quarter.
That time Parker, nice combination route over there. He ran right underneath Landon Bailey. We know that big target. He caught a couple of touchdowns last week, so you know the defense is really going to be keyed in on the big tight end. So they use him to clear out the defense a little bit, and Parker does a good job of just sliding into that little soft spot in the zone right behind him, and Gunnels did a good job of delivering an accurate one-time ball.
Penalty flag thrown on the extra point. And it looks like some movement on the defensive side of the football. Wilson and Gursky handling the punting and the extra points for Shippensburg. Half the distance penalty is Shepard jumping on the play. That'll move the ball up about a yard. And let's try this extra point again.
But you really couldn't script a better drive to open up the game for Shippensburg. march methodically down the field.
And Gursky's kick is up, and it is good. 7:48 remaining in quarter number one. Shippensburg leads Shepherd 7-0. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Arden-Nullville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
Carrington, Nickens, Yazir, and Malachi Brown stand back as the two return men for the Rams. That is Malachi Brown taking it at the 6-yard line. Up the far side of the field, and that cuts back to the 20-yard line, and he is stopped short of the 20 at the 19-yard line. A penalty flag coming in on the return. Looked like a little bit of a confusion on that return. Nickens just here moving to his left. Looked like he had a better view at that football, and Brown just kind of took it out of the air and started that going backwards.
And when there's indecision, somebody just needs to make a decision. So Malachi Brown did the right thing. You don't know what the other guy's going to do, but you know what you can do. So he did a good job of securing the ball. Unfortunately for him, there was a penalty on the play, so that's going to back up Shepherd close to their own goal line. And right now, Shippensburg, the momentum is squarely on their sidelines, scoring on that opening drive. Now they have that penalty and have the Shepherd offense backed up. So now the Raiders having an opportunity to press their advantage.
The nose of the football just shy of the 10-yard line. So Shepherd 90 yards of green in front of them to start this football game. Hardaway in the shotgun formation. Jordan Barnett to his right. It is Barnett getting the carry off the left side. Barrels his way across the 10-yard line, and a couple more up to the 12. Gain of 3 on the play brings up 2nd down and 7.
That was the senior strong safety in on that tackle, Eli Gamashului, coming up. And like we mentioned, they've got some players on this side of the ball for Shippensburg. He had a good game last year versus Shepherd. Had 7 tackles, 2 of those solo. One of the leading tacklers for this ball club this year. 43 tackles, 21 solo coming into today's game.
Brown goes in motion. He gets the pitch. Has to retreat back to the 5. Now across the 15. Steps out of bounds, or steps to the right of the 20s, across the 30, now to the 40, and gets hit out of bounds at the 45-yard line.
Jaden Ashby, what are you doing? You knew. All you jersey, you didn't have to do anything, and you had a big play. And I think he's going to be the guilty party on it. There was no reason for him to make it. And that's one of the things that Jaden Ashby does so well. He's a great route runner, has good hands, but he's also a very good blocker down the field. But that time just a little bit too overzealous in trying to make a play for his teammate.
It is a block in the back on Shepherd. It was well into the run, so will be a first down for Shepherd, just not as close to midfield as they would like.
Yeah, it doesn't sting quite as much, but Ashby, come on. You're such a good blocker. You got to give up on that play.
Ball now at the 34-yard line. The Rams a fresh set of downs. 1st down and 10. Trips to the near side. 2 receivers to the far side. Hardaway by himself in the shotgun formation. Takes a snap looking for a quick out and beyond the reach of the intended target, Malachi Brown.
Looked like there may have been a miscommunication between Batten and Brown on that play. Again, you put a lot of pressure on the defense when you have those 2 guys out in that cluster look out wide, trying to make those defensive backs guess which responsibility that they're going to try to take, but that time just a little bit of disruption in the timing, and the ball fell harmlessly to the turf.
Shotgun formation, Barnett, the tailback to the left of Hardaway. There's a snap. The give is to Barnett. He goes right up the middle, breaking tackles across the 45, nearing midfield. Breaking 2 or 3 tackles on his way to a Shepherd first down.
Barnett just does such a tremendous job of picking up those yards after contact. Once this Shepherd offense, they get that running game rolling. And again, it isn't so much the yards or yards per carry. For me, when Shepherd is successful is when they just have a high volume of carries. And that really puts Hardaway in a good position of not having to throw the ball all day long. And really, he can use that play action pass to set up those deep bombs over the top.
First down and 10. Shepherd throwing 49-yard line. 2 first downs on this drive. 2 receivers to the far side, 1 to the near side. The pitch to Barnett off the right side. He is into Raider territory inside the 45 down to the 43-yard line. And a good carry on first down. A gain of 7 brings up second down and 3.
That time, Will linebacker Alex Suave was in on that tackle. The 6', 215-pound redshirt sophomore. Leading tackle in this ball club coming into today's game. 52 tackles on the year, 19 of those solo. He'll also get into the backfield and cause some disruptions. 4.5 tackles for a loss, including 2 sacks.
Ashby, the lone receiver to the near side, a receiver on the far side as well. Ashby now coming in motion. Pistol set for the Rams. Barnett behind Hardaway. There's the snap. Again, the give is to Barnett, and he is stopped before getting back to the line of scrimmage. That's a loss of 2 on the play, taking what was a second and short, now making it a third and medium.
Terrence Peterson Jr. was the Sam backer that was able to get in the backfield and make that play. The 5'11", 240-pound redshirt senior coming off of a good game last week. He had 4 tackles, 3 of those solo, and a tackle for a loss versus Lockhaven.
Third down and 5. Ball at the 36 or the 46-yard line rather. 3 receivers to the near side of the formation. Now Grant Swinehart is the tailback. Swinehart, a good game last week, 76 yards on the ground. Hardaway drops back to pass. Goes over the middle. That's Batten who has the reception and rolls out of bounds. Looks like about a half yard short of the line to gain, waiting for the official signal.
Batten does such a good job with the run after the catch. That's why you see Shepherd like using that quick underneath stuff and just allow his athleticism to take over. Coming off of a good game last week versus East Stroudsburg, racked up 4 catches for 62 yards.
And Batten getting just enough to move the chains. Shepherd first down. Ball at the 41-yard line. Shepherd in Shippensburg territory. Right side hash, a power pistol with 1 receiver to each side of the formation. Power pistol up the snap off the hand of Hardaway, and he's able to fall on it. Really had to extend that right arm just to get that football back. That football went to the right before he started moving. Luckily able to fall on it of what would have been a costly turnover early in this football game.
And that center quarterback exchange is so critical, especially when you have a lot of these quick timing plays. And that time the ball just died on its way back there. And you went down on the field earlier today, Matt, and talked about how it's just a weird swirling wind down there on the field. Sometimes, a lot of times you don't think about a snap getting held up by the wind, but that time looked like got caught up in the wind a little bit.
Loss of 3, 2nd and 13. The give to Barnett. Starts up the middle and nowhere to go. A host of Raider defenders in his way. A gain of just 1, and now a 3rd and long, 3rd and 12 coming up for the Rams.
Peyton Stadler, the big defensive lineman, in on that tackle. The 6', 250-pound sophomore from Fairfield, PA. And again, just that timing's thrown off a little bit in the backfield, and the defensive lineman was able to get back there, get some penetration, and really slow down any type of momentum that Barnett was trying to muster.
3 receivers to the near side, 1 to the far side. Swinehart is the back to the right of Hardaway. Hardaway drops back to pass, looking over the middle. Now he's going to fire deep, looking for Batten, and that one knocked down, incomplete.
It was Josh Lacine in on the coverage. 5'10", 100-pound senior did a good job. He was locked up deep going down the middle of the field on Batten. Felt like he had an opportunity to come away with that interception, but batting that ball to the turf, and now Shippensburg having an opportunity now to increase their lead, getting the ball back after a good defensive stand here in midfield.
Deshaun Alexander on to punt it away for the Rams. Ty Neal, the return man, stands at the 10-yard line for the Raiders of Shippensburg. 2:28 remaining in quarter number 1 as Shepherd going to give the football back. End over end kick. That one bounces at the 1-yard line and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And we've seen Alexander working on that this year, but still trying to work on the touch of the punt in his own territory.
Yep, working on the nuance of the position of the punter. We know he has a big leg. Anytime he puts foot to leather, it's going to be a booming kick, but now trying to work on the finer points of the position. And he did get the big hop where it was still in the field to play, but just no coverage down here to make it happen. And now Shepherd, they've got to ramp up the intensity here a little bit because right now Shippensburg, they're taking the initiative.
And we saw the intensity. We talked about it multiple times in the broadcast last week. Shepherd coming out just looking just like focused. They were ready to play, and flags coming in, a player running off the field quickly, and an illegal substitution called on to Shippensburg. Arneson coming off the field quickly, but not quick enough. Move that back 5 yards, making a 1st and 15. Ball now pushed back to the 15-yard line.
And that's one of the issues you're going to have when you go out there and you have such a wide variety of player personnel packages. Sometimes you're going to have a guy out there in the field that shouldn't be out there on the field.
Gunnels by himself in the shotgun, looking left, nowhere to go, going to be flushed to his right, and throws it pretty much out of reach of his intended target. That was Javon Parker on the near side and really just getting rid of it.
And the Shepherd defensive front, they really didn't put a lot of pressure on him. They did a good job of just trying to keep him in the pocket. And you could tell Gunnels, he has happy feet, deservedly so. He's been sacked 31 times this year, so he's going to see some ghosts back there in the backfield. And I think that was the issue on that last play where it's just not able to settle down and get into a rhythm to make that accurate throw.
11 ghosts on defense today. Shepherd and the ghosts of Shepherdstown, gray uniform. 2nd down and 15 for Shippensburg. And once again, going to go with the pistol, or the Wildcat look, rather. A handoff going to Stokes. He carries it up to the 19-yard line. A gain of 4 on 2nd down. A 3rd and long for Shippensburg.
Durham comes in, and you know Shippensburg had to have looked at that film from last week and saw the success that East Stroudsburg had running those Wildcat packages or quarterback-heavy run packages. A lot of success later on in that game, so Shippensburg seeing they're trying to duplicate that success this week versus this defense.
3rd down and 11. Ball at the 19-yard line. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Arneson in the back to the left of Gunnels. Gunnels drops back to pass. Looking over the middle. Nowhere to go, and he is swallowed up in the backfield. Shepherd's first sack of the afternoon, and Shippensburg going to give the football right back.
Fluke coming in, but Jack Baxter was the first man to get into the backfield and disrupt things. Shepherd using a variety of looks, trying not to blitz so much. They know that they're going to have to keep some guys back in coverage, so using some stunts and a variety of looks up front to try to free up one of those defensive linemen, and that time Fluke was the guy able to get Gunnels to the ground.
Fluke, one of the 2 players you heard from in our pregame show. Dylan's got a knack for that. He seems to talk to guys that he's anticipating having a good game. Does a great job with those interviews with players and Coach McCook every week. That just able to get off from his own end zone was the punt. That bounces at the 50-yard line. Now takes a Shippensburg roll to the 40 and finally stops rolling at the 39-yard line. A good punt for Gursky. He was just having to get rid of it. Turned into a 60-some-yard punt.
It came out low. It was a low-line drive. He had a lot of pressure in his face, so you give him credit for just being able to navigate his way through traffic to get that kickoff, and then he was able to get a little top spin on it and get a friendly roll, and now Shepherd having the ball, pretty good field position. See if this Shippensburg defense can keep the pressure on them.
Yeah, field position a little friendlier than starting at your own 10, which is what they did on their first offensive drive. 38 seconds remaining in quarter number 1. Power pistol look to the right. There's the snap to give to Barnett. Starts left and then cuts up the middle across the 45. Gets up to the 46. Good gain on 1st down. Brings up 2nd down and short for the Rams.
Barnett, again, just does such a good job of using patience, using his vision. Like you mentioned, he presses off to that left side. That's going to make that defense commit. Then he's able to put his foot in the ground and get north and south and cut it back against the grain to pick up a nice chunk on 1st down.
The Rams don't have to snap this before the end of the quarter. Let's see if they do. A hard count for Hardyway. Doesn't get anybody to jump. Under 5 seconds now, and he will take the snap. They give this to Barnett right up the middle, lowers his shoulder into Raider territory and taking tacklers with him inside the 45 down to the 44-yard line, and a fresh set of downs when we come back. We are through 1 quarter of play here in Shepherdstown. Right now, it is the visiting Raiders of Shippensburg who hold a 7-0 lead. We're back after this. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
With 4 new car dealerships and 4 used car dealerships in 3 states, Parsons is the largest used car and fastest growing new car dealer in the tri-state area. Take Parsons Ford with huge savings on hundreds of new Fords, financing from 0%. Parsons' goal of financing for all. And Parsons' famous above-market trade-in allowances that help make Parsons #1 for used cars, too. See why so many won't buy anywhere but Parsons Ford in Martinsburg. We became #1 by making you #1 first. Parsons.
After a car accident, call the local law firm that can give you the help you need right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti, the one with 115 years of combined experience fighting for West Virginia accident victims. Get more with Manchin Ferretti.
The one that takes on the big insurance companies.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. We're Manchin Ferretti.
After a car accident, we'll fight for every dollar you deserve. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. So call right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Welcome back into Rams Stadium as we begin quarter number 2. Shepherd with the football and driving, but currently down by a touchdown. 7-0 Shippensburg leads.
And again, the Rams, you got to crank up the intensity. You had some big wins here as of late, but you can't afford to overlook anybody at this point in the season. And so far, Shippensburg has taken the initiative here early on.
Hardyway takes a snap to give is to Barnett. Starts up the middle and cuts left. He's inside the 30 to the 25. The 21 man to beat and is not going to beat him around the edge, but inside the 20 down to the 15-yard line. And another first down for Shepherd. They're in the red zone for the first time.
That Rams offensive line, they were huge last week, and they were particularly huge on that last play. That left side of the line, Jaden Perez and A.J. Hendricks did a good job of washing everything down. And again, Barnett, we say it all the time, his patience and his vision are as equally important to his running style as his speed and physicality. And that time he used his vision to cut it back, and there was nobody on that side of the line.
Swinehart now the tailback. There is the snap and a little zone option. Hardaway going into the end zone and overthrows his intended target. He's looking for Brian Jester. His big tight ends go 6'3", 245. But beyond his reach, brings up second down and 10.
The Rams still looking for their first touchdown to a tight end this season. They've used a variety of multiple tight end sets. You had a couple of the tight ends. Casey Lanza doing quite well. Shane Lown doing quite well, but so far they have yet to reach the end zone this season.
3 receivers bunched to the left, including Jester, the tight end. 1 receiver to the right. Swinehart is the back. They gave us a Swinehart off the right side. He's inside the 10 and taken down at the 6-yard line. Just had one man to beat in a shoestring tackle, keeping the Rams out of the end zone.
That was Josh Lacine right there on the tackle. He was the last man back there because it looked like Swinehart had plenty of open space to try to punch it in for the Rams.
Shepherd down to the 6, brings up 3rd down and short. 3rd down and 1 for the Rams. You might hear the band a little louder than you're used to hearing. Both bands here today, folks. Something we don't see often. Hardyway under center. Brown behind him, and how about a little quarterback sneak? And that's enough for a first down. Shepherd inside the 5, down to the 4. 1st and goal coming up for the Rams.
Malachi Brown there with the assist, pushing his quarterback forward. Like you said, you don't see that often out of this Rams offense, but you got to use what you have, and no reason to get fancy about it. You got a short distance to pick up that first down, put your quarterback under center. Don't put any pressure on yourself. Like we mentioned, those snaps have been a little bit off so far today, so you don't want to leave anything to risk.
Yeah, I think other than the victory formation or going into half, I can't count on more than a few fingers how many times I've seen Hardyway under center this year.
Just something you don't see much in modern-day football is guys going under center.
Seldom seen, always appreciated.
Yes.
Shotgun formation again. It is Barnett as the tailback. Play action pass going into the end zone. Where's the flag? There it is. The intended target would look like it was Ashby and had a defender draped all over his back. 1st and goal already, but that'll march the Rams just a little bit closer.
That was Darvin Tunis in on the coverage, the 6', 165-pound sophomore. He knew he was beat to the inside, but he wasn't wanting to give up that touchdown just yet. And he's one of their leading tacklers on this ball club. 22 tackles, 16 of those solo. Has 6 pass breakups this year, so a very active defender with the ball in the air.
Ball moves half the distance to the goal, so let's do first down and goal again, this time at the 2-yard line. Shotgun formation. There's the snap to give to Barnett right up the middle, and he crosses the goal line. It's a Shepherd Ram touchdown, and they draw within one, and coming up to tie it up.
Now you're starting to see this Rams offensive line starting to impose their will here a little bit much like they did last week, where they dominated the line of scrimmage. And that's what they were able to do all the way down the field on this drive, just some punishing blocks up front. But Barnett's able to do the rest that time, getting into the end zone, standing up.
Shepherd one man short along the line. Now they got all 11 out there as Keith Baker awaits for the extra point. There is the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and that kick is good. 12:32 remaining in quarter number 2. Shepherd ties it up at 7. We're back after this. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
What are you looking for? How about some craft beer? Or maybe you want some New York-style pizza. Maybe some time with your family. Or maybe you want to have game night with all your friends out on the patio. Yeah, we got that.
Are you looking for a lager? Maybe a stout or IPA. We've got that.
Our dough is made fresh every day. Our sauce is made daily. And our mozzarella is absolutely amazing. Our neighborhood is growing, and it deserves a place where you can have great food, great beer, and a great ambiance. And that place is right here.
Andy's Pizza and Inferno Brewery. Andy'sPizza.com.
Take Rock's Chicken everywhere. A perfect mix of white and dark meat for any occasion. Rock's 12-piece chicken, $12. Rock's local market. Take Rock's Chicken everywhere. It's perfect for any occasion. Rock's 12-piece chicken, $12. Rock's local market.
Durham, the 2 return men for the Raiders. They both stand inside the 10-yard line as Collins approaches and gets that kickoff way high. End-over-end kick that bounced at the 5-yard line. That's where Durham is going to take it as he crosses the 10 to the 15. Little stutter step up to the 15, 16-yard line. And not great starting field position for the Raiders to start this drive. A successful first drive leading to points, and then a 3-and-out, giving the football back to Shepherd. Let's see what drive number 3 has in store for Shippensburg.
Like you said, a nice high kick, allowing that coverage to cover a lot of space before the ball carrier is even able to get his hands on it. Good job rallying to the football and bringing him down, and now Shippensburg backed up a good bit, having a chance to try to retake the lead.
Looks like we're going to get another Wildcat look. Arneson and Durham, the 2 standing in the shotgun formation. Little hesitation as Durham takes it himself off the right side, now looking to go back up the middle and nowhere to go. He is not even going to get back to the line of scrimmage. How about a loss of 2? 2nd and 12 coming up for the Raiders. Shepherd sniffing that out quick.
Well, that's one thing about this Rams defense that you have to really give them credit for is you might be able to catch them out of position briefly, but it's not going to stay that way. They do such a good job of reading and reacting and also making adjustments throughout the course of a game. So Shippensburg going to the well once too often on that last Wildcat attempt.
Gunnels back in the game. Pumps right, now going to be flushed to the right, and he's taken down for the 2nd time in the first half. Shepherd is able to get to Riley Gunnels. The end of that football could not be, I don't think you could fit a piece of paper between that and the goal line.
The shadow of the football is over the goal line on that play. And again, Nathan Muley, nice quick move on the outside, and just that pocket collapsed on Gunnels, and fortunate to come away with not getting a safety on that play. But now they're backed up in their end zone, so they've gone from a tough place to an even tougher spot.
This is the 2nd time in this football game, and Gursky's going to have to punt from his own end zone. This time his heels are about a foot from that end line. Gets the snap and just gets that football away, punches it out. The return man's batted at the 35-yard line. He's inside the 30, little hesitation. Now cuts back up the middle and is brought down at the 27-yard line. So Shepherd already in scoring territory, and a good opportunity to take the lead for the first time in this football game. How much fun do you think Nathan Muley's having playing football right now?
Man, he's just having an incredible football season. Like we mentioned, he's stout against the run. He's dynamic. When he's a pass rusher, especially when you put him out there on the edge, that's when he's really playing his best football, and he just does a good job of getting after quarterback. And such an advantage to have when you're able to get pressure like that with one of your players and you don't have to blitz linebackers.
And so much fun with him being a local guy. I'm sure a kid grew up in Jefferson County, just a few minutes away, went to Jefferson High School in Shenandoah Junction, just about 15 minutes away from Shepherdstown. To give to Swinehart right up the middle, breaks a couple of tackles at the line of scrimmage, now gets inside the 20, down to the 19-yard line, and a good gain on the first down.
A really good kick-out block that time by Chain Lown, creating that lane that the running back was able to exploit on that play. Shepherd, they use their tight ends in a variety of ways, incorporating them more into the passing game, but they really make their presence felt in the running game. They are all very stout run blockers when they're called upon to do so.
2nd down and 2, ball at the 19-yard line, nearing this right hash. 2 receivers to the far side. Malachi Brown by himself to the right. Swinehart is the back. Hardyway takes a snap, looking right, now going to go left. That pass caught on the left side, avoiding one tackle. That's Ashby hurdling at the 5-yard line and taken out of bounds inside the 5, down at the 4. First up for the Rams.
And Ashby looking for a little bit of redemption on that play. Had a quiet game last week, only 1 catch for 7 yards, but like we mentioned, does such a good job of contributing to his team in a variety of ways. Doesn't always have to catch and get big yards. Is a great route runner, also is a great blocker downfield. That time he was able to make the catch and make a spectacular play to pick up the first down.
With his couple of receptions today, now over 300 yards on the season. 1st and goal from the 4-yard line. Pistol look. Swinehart is the back. Jumbo to the right, and a false start on the Rams. That'll push him back to the 9.
And something's been off with the snap so far today. They've been hanging up in the air, and Hardaway's been having to do a lot of acrobatics in the backfield just to corral those snaps. So they don't have a lot of space to do it over there on that Shepherd sideline, but they're going to have to get that figured out because that could be a problem if this game continues to be close down the stretch. And Aaron's snap, a funny bounce, could really put you in a bad spot.
Shepherd just wanted a little more room to work. You get that close to the goal line, it gets a little tight down there. Just want a little more room to work. 1st and goal from the 9 for the Rams. Swinehart still the tailback. 2 tight ends move from left to right in the formation. There is the snap. They give to Swinehart up the middle, gets back to the 6-yard line before he is stopped. 2nd and goal now for the Rams as we approach the 8-minute mark before halftime, 8:16 on a running second quarter clock.
That was Cordell Brown there in the middle of the pile for that Shippensburg defense. The 6'1", 275-pound sophomore from Upper Marlboro, Maryland, did a good job. It was just a big pile of bodies there in the middle, really no lanes for the running back to try to sneak through.
One receiver to each side of the formation. Shepherd still going heavy with 2 tight ends in the formation. It's a sweep this side. That's Nick and Jazier cutting inside the 5-yard line down to the 2 before he is stopped. They might say his knee went down at the 3, but a 3rd and goal coming up. And Shepherd knocking on the door, but not there yet.
And Shepherd is trying to create some space out there, attacking this defense sideline to sideline. If you can try to get them stretched out a little bit, that maybe might create some running lanes for your guys to get north and south. And Nick and Jazier just not able to find enough daylight to punch it into the end zone. And so far, this Shippensburg defense trying to stiffen up here in the red zone.
3rd and goal. Right hash snap. Swinehart is the back behind Hardyway. There is the snap. The give is to Swinehart right up the middle, and he crosses the goal line. It's a Shepherd Ram touchdown. Grant Swinehart from 3 yards out just followed the big guys in front. They opened a hole in between the guard and tackle on the right side, and an easy lane for 6 for Grant Swinehart.
Shippensburg, the defensive front, they had a shift there at the last second, just trying to confuse those blocking assignments up front, but the Rams offensive line having none of it. Did a good job of creating a lane for their running back to punch it in for their 2nd touchdown of the day.
Baker on for the extra point. The snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is through. 6:59 remaining before halftime. Shepherd takes their first lead of the day. They lead Shippensburg 14-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
W. Harley Miller Systems understands the need and desire for reliable and affordable smart home solutions. Secure your home with a security system and keep a close eye on your family. Automate your home with a Control4 system and have smart technology work as one. Set daily schedules to control your thermostats. Push a button and set the mood for dinner by dimming lights and playing music, or just sit back and enjoy a movie in your own home theater. Put decades of experience to work for you. Visit us at whmsystems.com or call 304-350-1931.
The Ram lead is a touchdown, 14-7, as we're under 7 to play in quarter number 2. Sam Collins on for the kickoff. Arneson and Durham, the 2 return men, standing at the 5-yard line for the Raiders. Again, another high end over end kick. This one going to bounce at the 15-yard line. Take a Shepherd bounce, and if the Rams fall on it, it's still loose. Shepherd falls on it, is going to return it inside the 10-yard line to the 5 to the goal line. It's a Shepherd Ram touchdown.
And again, a funny bounce. They've been doing a good job on kickoff. Now the referee's going to get together. I'm sure they're going to decide on if they're going to be able to advance a punt. It always seems like a toss-up on whether they're going to be able to advance a
I think they're going to
advance a fumble.
It looked like it bounced because you can't advance what is an onside kick, which is basically that was a long onside kick. From my vantage point, it looked like it may have hit a white jersey along the way, which would make that a fumble and a loose football. So not going to be a touchdown. Shepherd going to get the ball in great field position at the 16, and I think that hit a white jersey somewhere along the way in that scrum.
And that was just an incredible kick in that bounce. It stopped dead and went straight up in the air. And that Rams coverage team did a good job of flying down on that play and not giving up on the play. And I like the fact that they picked it up and ran into the end zone. Put the onus on the referees to make a decision, but I like the aggressive nature.
1st and 10 from the 15. Short screen pass out. That's Batten who gets it up to the 12-yard line. Gain of 4 on 1st down. 2nd and medium coming up. 2nd and 5.
Rams looking to go a little bit of tempo.
Quickly with the snap, and again going with the screen pass. This once again to Batten avoiding a tackle now inside the 10-yard line down to the 8. Gain of 3 on the play brings up 3rd and short. 3rd and 2 coming up for the Rams.
And a couple of quick challenges that time, but Shippensburg defense up to that challenge. And that's one thing you can say about those Raiders defensive backs. They do a good job of tackling. If you look at that stat sheet, they're among the team leaders in tackles. And you can look at that a variety of ways. Ones they're giving up a lot of completions, but they are taking on that responsibility, coming up and being strong against the run. And the way teams like to throw those quick screens, you're going to need guys out there on the edge that can tackle and can tackle in space. And Shippensburg showed on the past couple of plays that they can do that consistently.
3rd and 2. It's Brown who gets it on the sweep. Gets up to the 7-yard line. Looks like he's going to be about a yard short of what he needs. I'd imagine Shepherd's offense is going to stay on the field.
Kind of a weird series of plays on offense for Shepherd. You go with a couple of quick screens and a hurry up. Then you come right back after that with a jet sweep to Brown. And Shippensburg giving Shepherd some issues here deep in their own territory.
Shepherd's offense does stay on the field. 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. Barnett is the tailback, and once again, we're going to see Hardyway under center. I'd imagine another quarterback sneak as Brown comes in motion again. Waiting that snap, there it is, and Hardyway stood up quickly, and we'll see if that second push he was able to get there. From our vantage point, looks like he might be about a half yard short.
It was a nice surge up front by the Shippensburg defense, and not wanting to give up another short conversion. It looks like they may have been able to turn away that Rams offense. That was just a weird series of plays for Shepherd on that. I'm not sure what they were trying to accomplish on that, but how do you get down that close to the goal line and Swinehart and Barnett not touch the ball once?
So a turnover on down. Shepherd getting the ball at the 16-yard line following one of the longest onside kicks you'll ever see in your life. And gives the football right back after just a few plays.
I mean, you get that far down in the red zone and Swinehart and Barnett doesn't touch the ball at least one time.
First and 10 for the Raiders. Ball at the 7-yard line, under 5 to play before halftime. They give this to Arneson off the left side. Actually make that give to Stokes off the left side as he nears the 10-yard line, and they will give him the 10-yard line on the carry. Gain of 3, now 2nd and 7.
And Stokes, they've bounced him around. At one point in time was listed as a wide receiver, but more of a running back nowadays, coming off of a game last week. Didn't do too much against Lockhaven. Had a couple of carries, minus 2 yards. Also had a catch for 11 yards. You look back to last year versus Shepherd, had 1 catch for 4 yards, so not a big factor of the offense, but they like to use him in a variety of ways.
He remains the back to the right of Gunnels. Gets the carry again off the left side, and he is drilled at the 15-yard line after a gain of 5.
It was Wimberly that time lowering the boom on the senior ball carrier.
You don't think his 1 reception in the game last year was a big key to that football game?
No, they got smacked 38-0. So I don't know how much it swayed. Now let somebody.
I'm sure that reception was very important to Mr. Stokes.
I'm sure it was important to him.
3rd down and 2. Let's see if Shepherd's defense can get a hold. Stokes still the tailback to the left of Gunnels. 2 receivers to the far side of the formation. 1 to the near side and some movement on the right side. The slot receiver jumping. That was number 16. That's Derek Guzman, who did not have the snap count that the rest of the offense did. 5-yard penalty goes from a 3rd and 2 to a 3rd and 7, and a big penalty for the Raider offense.
This Raiders team, they can ill afford to have penalties. Don't have many penalties this year. Only averaging just under 50 yards per game in penalties, but this is a team that has very little margin of error when it comes to wins and losses, so every penalty is going to sting.
Stokes going to stay in the ball game, getting a lot of action at tailback on this drive. Gunnels drops back to pass. Looking left is going to hit a man in the flats. That is Stokes. Avoids a tackler at the 10-yard line and steps out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Not nearly what he needs for the first down. And you would imagine that Shippensburg going to punt the football. A little hesitation there as the offense slowly making their way off the field. But now you see Wilson and Gursky, the sophomore kicker and punter, making his way onto the field. And for the 3rd time in this first half, Travis, he's in his own end zone having to get rid of that football. And both times he's had to do that, it's been quickly getting rid of the football.
He's done a good job so far, but you don't want to see your punter getting challenged like this early and this often, but he's been able to find a way to get him off.
And Shippensburg bringing in a little more protection on that as he does get the punt off. It bounces and takes a Shippensburg bounce now inside the 40-yard line. Shepherd at their own 39 is where they will start this offensive possession. 2:03 remaining in the first half. Good field position and still all 3 timeouts, and the clock is your friend right now. So Shepherd an opportunity, and they get the football back to start the 3rd quarter. So a 2-for-1 opportunity here and a chance to really break this one open, Travis.
Shepherd had an opportunity on that last drive. You get the ball with excellent field position, but just some odd choice of plays down that close to the goal line, and they came away with nothing. Now they have an opportunity to not only get some more points, but close out this first half without Shippensburg's offense able to come back out on the field.
Swinehart the back to the right of Hardyway in the shotgun. Hardyway drops back to pass, can hit a curl route on the far side. That one complete up to the 43-yard line. And that was Ashby on the reception. We've called his name quite a few times in this first half. 2 minutes on the clock, which means a 2-minute timeout. We will take the 60-second break as well. Back for the remaining 2 minutes of the first half. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 14-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. We have been challenged to sell 20 new and used vehicles each and every day for the rest of the year. This means you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the largest Ford store on the I-81 corridor, ranked among the top dealerships in the country in sales volume and customer satisfaction. If you are even thinking about buying a new car, now is the time. Visit HagerstownFord.com and choose your new ride, and we will bring it to you. You will sign all the documents from your phone and skip that awful finance process that consumes your entire day in the dealership. Let's recap. Hagerstown Ford must sell 20 vehicles a day. You will sign all the documents from your phone on your time. We will bring your new ride to you, and you're done. It's that easy. If you don't like it, return it. Our return policy is better than Walmart, and our buying experience is better than Amazon. And you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the #1 Ford store from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, we want to be the #1 Ford store in the nation.
Hagerstown Ford, right off Interstate 81, across from the Valley Mall.
2nd down and 6 out of the timeout. 2 receivers to each side of the formation. Hardaway back to pass and overthrows the intended target and almost picked off. Batten had a curl route that he sat down at the 50-yard line and looked like about a yard or two shorter than what Hardaway was expecting. That one almost into the hands of DJ Jackson, the 6'1", a senior defensive back. And I think Jackson just wasn't expecting that football to get there that quickly. Hit him in both hands. Luckily for Shepherd, then falls to the turf. Brings up 3rd down and 6, a minute and 57 remaining in the first half. Shotgun formation for Hardaway. 2 receivers to the near side of the formation. Hardaway back to pass, looking left, nowhere to go. A pump fake. Now going to be rushed to his right. Fires downfield, and that one caught on the near side by Ashby. What a catch at the 40-yard line. 1st down Rams. And what a throw on the run by Hardaway.
Good throw on the run. An awesome job by of not giving up on that play. We talked about Ashby just doing a variety of things well. He did it on that play, helping out his quarterback, running to the open spot in the field. Hardaway just dropping a dime right in his front.
Hardaway back to pass, fires across the middle, and that one caught by Batten. He's going to go 10-5, touchdown Shepherd.
Man, oh man, Hardaway squeezed that one through a keyhole on that play. It looked like the defenders are going to have a chance to pop, maybe even intercept it. But a quick strike play that time by the Rams offense.
And Patton turning and running and outrunning everybody. Might be the strongest throw we've seen Hardaway make this year.
And we've just seen him just develop more and more chemistry, more and more confidence as the season gone along. And you saw it clearly displayed on that last play where he threw that dart to Batten over the middle.
Baker with the extra point. It is up, but good is the sign, but penalty flags coming in. Both coming from behind the play in the end zone. So with Shippensburg's defense jogging off the field, looks like it might be on that side of the football. Waiting to see from our officials, as they will go give head coach Ernie Mcook the options on the penalty. Our head referee now going to give the explanation. Leveraging on the defense, so somebody propelling somebody else over the line. That is a no-no in college football. So the extra point is good. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 21-7, 138 remaining in quarter number 2. Let's go ahead and make this a 30-second break back in the studio. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
1:38 remaining before halftime. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 21-7. Shepherd looking for their 5th straight win on the season, their 7th straight against this Shippensburg Raider team. And after a opening drive that Shippensburg went down, took a 7-0 lead. Travis, it has been all Shepherd from that point.
21 unanswered by the Rams, and very well could be even worse if they didn't squander the drive before that. But the Rams have certainly battled their way back into this game, taken control, and now they're having a chance to kick the ball off from a very good spot. Let's see if they have a trick up their sleeve on this play. They did get one earlier today.
The leveraging penalty assessed on the kickoff, so Collins going to approach the football at midfield. A short kick, one of the up men going to call a fair catch at the 19-yard line, smartly calling a fair catch, and Shippensburg's offense going to make their way back onto the field. Shippensburg still 3 timeouts left, a minute and 38 seconds. Shepherd with all 3 of their timeouts as well, though, so if you're the offense for the Raiders of Ship, you got to manage the clock almost as much as you're managing your offense.
And as much as it pains them to do, they're probably going to have to run the ball, at least in an effort to force Shepherd's hand to use those timeouts. You don't want to give them the ball back with any type of time left on that clock and a couple of timeouts in their back pocket. There was another flag on the play. So I believe it may have been offsides on Shepherd.
Ball was moved up 5 yards. It's a penalty on the kicking team of the Rams. Brings the football up to the 25-yard line.
And for such like a fast first quarter, the second quarter hasn't had quite the same rhythm. There's been a lot of stoppage in play, a lot of penalties. It's really kind of thrown off the rhythm of the game, but the Rams have been able to thrive in the chaos, so to speak, able to score 21 unanswered versus this Raiders ball club.
And they will make it a 10-yard penalty. The ball now moves up to the 30-yard line for the Shippensburg offense. Arneson, the tailback, to the right of Gunnels in the shotgun formation. Gunnels takes that snap. Looking right, nowhere to go. A little hesitation, steps up in the pocket, avoids the first sack, but nowhere to go. As gray jerseys everywhere. The fourth sack of the first half for the Rams. And a time.
Jalen Edwards led the charge, but it was a host of Rams defenders that collapsed the pocket on Gunnels, and you really can't criticize him for having happy feet in the pocket. It was great coverage down the field, had nowhere to go with the ball, but he has just been hit so many times this year, it's going to be hard for him to settle down and try to find that open target when he just doesn't have time to do it.
And that's one thing about the sacks today. 3 of the 4, or maybe 4 of the 4, have been coverage sacks.
Yeah.
It's when Gunnels has stepped up in the pocket and you see the little pump fake, not a true pump fake, but just like, hey, I want to make that, but I can't because that receiver's covered, and just nowhere to go with the football. So while the sacks are going to go down on the defensive lineman stat sheet, a lot of them are coverage sacks, and got to credit the Rams secondary for that as well.
And they've been coming on as of late. They've cleaned up those catastrophic miscommunications that really plagued them early on in the year. And again, they've used a variety of personnel packages. They started blitzing more. That's going to speed up the time that the quarterback has to get the ball out of his hands. So you have to credit that coaching staff for just sticking to it and just trying to find a way to create that success. And this Rams defensive unit has certainly flourished here the past couple of weeks with that new approach.
Out of the timeout. Shepherd did take that timeout. They have 2 remaining, 2nd and 16 for the Raiders. Gunnell drops back to pass, looking right again, nowhere to go, going to be flushed to his right, throws on the run and throws out of bounds. And
you got to help out your quarterback.
Yeah, virtually another timeout for the Rams now.
Yeah, you got to help out your quarterback. You look at those wide receivers for Shippensburg, nobody moved. You see your quarterback back there running for his life. You have to break off your route, find an open spot, make yourself available to your quarterback. He's looking downfield. He wants to get you the ball. And you're a wide receiver. I'm sure you want the ball. Help out your quarterback. They just stood there and just looked at it.
3rd down and 16, and a golden opportunity for the Rams if they can get a stop. Arneson is the tailback. Gunnels takes a snap, looking deep, nowhere to go. Just going to hit his slot man in the flats of the 25-yard line, gets up to the 27 before he is taken down hard at the 27-yard line on that reception. That was 82. That was Tom Smicer, the 5'10 redshirt freshman from York, Pennsylvania, and he is still down on the turf. And a late flag coming in, and Shepherd, that's going to go on the Rams in the area of an unsportsmanlike conduct or a taunting.
And there was no need for it. You're going to get the ball back in a matter of seconds. You had a good defensive stand. Now all that's negated because pretty much you can't keep your mouth shut as you're walking off to the sidelines, and there's still a guy that's injured down on the field. And it wasn't so much from the hit. It was the fact that he had one of his legs was tied up on the turf while he took that hit, and it put a lot of torque on that knee, and you see that's what those trainers are working on, that lower leg injury. Again, it was just unnecessary.
And Shepherd, after a good stop on 3rd down, just awards Shippensburg a fresh set of downs in the 15-yard unsportsmanlike conduct penalty.
And you're playing against the team. You know their confidence is shaken. They haven't won a lot of ball games. You really don't need all the smack talk after the whistle. It's not necessary. They're already in a bad spot. You're already well in control of the game. It's just a bad look. You don't need to do that.
Smicer to his feet and making his way off the field. The Shippensburg offense going to make their way back onto the field following the penalty and the fresh set of downs. And that's not going to be a fun one to look back on in film tomorrow for that Shepherd defense.
No, not at all. You have a good stand, but it's all negated because somebody just can't, one, celebrate with your teammates and then get your butt off the field. That's the only goal that you have as a defense on third down. Get off the field. You made the play, you rallied, you made the tackle. Get off the field so the punt team can get out there, a punt return team can get out there and do their thing. You can't have foolish plays like this. You've done a good job of avoiding them here on this win streak. You need to keep doing that.
Gunnels drops back past the 42-yard line, looking right, and just spikes it into the turf in front of Artisan. He was getting hit as he threw, and I think more or less intentionally just got rid of that football at the feet of his running back out of the backfield, Ethan Arneson.
That time it was Elijah Queen supplying the pressure, and Rams just rushing 3 up front, dropping 8 into cover. So you see, that's why Gunnels is having such a hard time of getting rid of the ball quickly. There are just so many Ram defenders in coverage, not a lot of windows for him to squeeze the ball into.
2nd down and 10. Gunnels drops back to pass, looking left the entire way, never looking at the right side of the field, and just throws that away. He had his eyes on one target and one target only that entire play. It was Guzman, the intended target, or I guess the closest target you would say on that play. But Gunnels dropped back to pass, looked left, never looked at the right side of the field where he had 3 receivers and a running back out of the backfield.
And again, you have a quarterback that has been consistently getting harassed. You're going to start to see some of those bad habits emerge. And again, his wide receivers are not helping him. You talk about those wide receivers over there on the right side. Not one of them look back at their quarterback in duress. Help him out. Break off your route. Get to somewhere where he can try to throw you the ball. But if you're not going to make a play for him, he's not going to try to look for you so he can get you the ball.
Shippensburg calls their first timeout of the first half. Second quarter of today's game brought to you by Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, located at 1400 Shepherdstown Road and online at parsonsford.com. They became number 1 by making you number 1 first. Parsons. Coming up at the half, we will give you a scoring recap from here at the stadium. We'll also go over some stats, and thrown in there, we'll send it back to the studio. Kyler High has your halftime scoreboard show. He'll give you some scores from around Division II football, the PSAC, the Mountain East, and also some Division I games of interest. I know the last time I checked, the Mountaineers were leading Houston on the road. I'm sure he'll give you an update on that one, as well as some top 25 games of interest around Division I football. But still a minute away from that, 59.4 on the clock and on both scoreboards here at Ram Stadium. Shippensburg with the football, 3rd down and 10. Gunnels by himself in the shotgun. 3 receivers bunched to the far side. Now they spread out, 2 receivers to the near side. Shepherd, 3 down linemen, and they're going to rush 3. Gunnels drops back to pass, fires across the middle, and that one incomplete. High and right from the intended target. That was number 23, Carson Swartz, the 5'10", 165-pound sophomore from Carlisle, Pennsylvania, the intended target.
Will Ennis was in on that coverage. And again, the Rams dropping 8 into coverage. They're still getting pressure with the 3 up front, which just goes to show the type of struggles that Shippensburg offensive line has had throughout this season, just protecting their quarterback.
Wilson and Gursky on to punt it away. I'm sure he's happy he's not standing in the end zone. He stands at the 27-yard line, does get that punt away. A spiraling kick that bounces at the 19-yard line and then makes its way out of bounds after a Shippensburg bounce. The Shepherd's offense going to come onto the field, ball at the 13-yard line in their own territory. Just 1 timeout left. How aggressive do you get here if you're Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook and offensive coordinator Rob Ambrose, knowing you're going to get the football back to start the third quarter and already have a 2-touchdown lead?
I think it's going to hinge on what you do with this first play from scrimmage. I think if you're able, I would just say try to run the ball. You've been getting chunk plays out of the run game, so put the ball in the hands of Barnett and Swinehart, see if they're able to pick you up a chunk on this play, and then that might adjust the calculus on whether you want to try to take a shot towards the end zone. But again, you're really not having to press anything at this point in time, because you know you're getting the ball back and you already have a commanding lead.
I think Coach Ambrose disagrees. An empty set. Hardy way back to pass. A pass caught across the middle. That's Kaysen Lanza. First time we've called his name today. He gets up to the 25-yard line, and that's enough for a first down. Shepherd. inside 2 minutes. That does stop the clock while they set the chain. So Shepherd able to get to the football quickly. That clock now running 35 seconds left in the first half. Hardaway drops back to pass, looking downfield. Now just gets it away. Swinehart makes the catch at the 30-yard line. Tries to get out of bounds, and he does at the 33-yard line. Heads up play by number 2, Grant Swinehart, to cut and not get the extra yard or two, but stop the clock.
Just an incredible play just to reel that one in one-handed. Not only that, like you said, having the wherewithal to understand the game situation and where he was at on the field, picked up some yards but didn't get greedy, ran out of bounds to stop that clock, and you keep one of those timeouts stashed in your back pocket.
2nd down and 2. 28 seconds left in quarter number 2. Hardaway moves Swinehart to his right. Now takes a snap, looking across the middle. He's going to fire deep over the middle, and that one deflected right before it gets to Jaden Ashby.
Defense.
Good defense in the secondary. That was number 18. That was Darvin's Tunes.
And they've got some tall, rangy guys in the secondary for this Shippensburg defense. You got DJ Jackson. He's 6'1", 170. You have Tunis. He's 6 foot, 165 pounds. So tall, rangy guys. And again, you're not too much worried about the weight, but you do like that height. You like the wingspan. You like that length in the secondary. And that time it paid off for that Raiders defense, able to bat that ball away.
3rd down and 2. 2 receivers to the far side of the formation, 1 to the near side. Swinehart is the back. Hardaway takes a snap looking left. He's got Batten at the 35, in and out of the hands of Cordell Batten.
You could tell he was already 3 or 4 moves down the field, looking down the field before the ball was even secured. And he's a veteran wide receiver. You know, he's over. You could tell as he's walking off to the sideline, not too happy with himself. But just trying to be aggressive and make a play for his teammate. But goes to show that focus this week has not been what it was last week versus East Stroudsburg. They did not leave those kind of plays on the field last week.
Deshaun Alexander to punt it away, and this should all but just about end the first half. I would imagine Shippensburg just going to run the ball once or sit on it. As the snap goes back to Alexander, a spiraling kick, a deep spiraling kick. Pushes the return man back to the 18-yard line. Starts up across the 20 and steps out of bounds at the 25-yard line. 9 seconds left in the first half here at Ram Stadium.
You could just tell Alexander when he has a little bit of room to punt, he goes out there. You could see the smile in his body language, just like, yes, I can just uncork a bomb on this one. He doesn't have to try to go directional or try to pooch it in somewhere. He likes being able to cut it loose. And that Rams cover team, they do a good job of getting down the field and not allowing big returns.
Shippensburg's offense back on the field, and we'd imagine just one play before halftime unless they can get a huge chunk of yards quickly. One receiver to each side of the formation. Arneson is the tailback. There's a snap. Gunnels is going to drop back to pass. He fires deep down that far sideline. The defender there is Batten, and he makes the interception at the 39-yard line, and a exclamation point to end this first half for that Ram secondary. One more play before we head to the halftime break. And right now, Shippensburg just grasping at anything they can get. Batten with the interception, and that's all he's done this year is take footballs away.
And he's done such a tremendous job of playing center field, tracking that ball while it's in the air. And Gunnels trying to set up the defender using that pump fake. The wide receiver's running a double move. But Batten, not fooled by any of it, did a good job of staying disciplined and then adjusting as that ball's in the air.
4th interception for Cordell Batten this year. Hardaway going to take the snap and sit on it. And we are through the first 2 quarters of action here at Rams Stadium. Military Appreciation Day. And Shepherd showing their appreciation, giving the fans a 2-touchdown advantage going into the halftime break. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 21-7. We are back to start the Mansion Freddy halftime show after this. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com. Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com.
My kids, you know I want the best for you, don't you? We need to have a conversation.
End-of-life planning is no one's favorite discussion, but the relief of having everything in place when the hour of need arrives is a gift. Give it to your family. Plan ahead with us.
Brown Funeral Homes, a leading provider of cremations, invites you to explore the many flexible options of cremation. From environmental considerations to the benefit of greatly reduced cost, it may be the perfect answer for your family. Online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
21-7, Shepherd leads Shippensburg at the half. Welcome into the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show, brought to you by the Mansion Freddie Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Visit them at wvjusticelawyers.com. Travis, you thought that, hey, Shippensburg has come to play today. They take the first kickoff of the game and go down, take a 7-0 lead, and you're going, all right, what's going to happen here? These Raiders have come to play, but since then it has been all Shepherd, and Shippensburg offensively has really done virtually nothing.
And I think that opening drive really opened up Shepherd's eyes because they came in a little bit lackadaisical to get the game started, and Shippensburg let them know early on that it's going to take a maximum effort if Shepherd wants to come out of here with a win, and Shepherd certainly got the message and responded with 21 unanswered. They still have had some miscues and some odd plays here and there where they haven't been able to extend that lead as much as they could have had. But, again, Shepherd taking care of business, and that's part of being a good football team, is being able to go out there and win the games that you should be able to win. And this was certainly a winnable game coming in, but Shepherd got to ratchet up that intensity and don't give Shippensburg an opportunity to get some confidence going and the possibility of something crazy happening.
21-7, let's tell you how we got there. It was a 13-play, 75-yard drive taking 7 minutes and 11 seconds off the clock. The first time Shippensburg had the football, it was an 8-yard pass from Riley Gunnels. He found Javon Parker for the touchdown. Shippensburg leads 7-0. Jordan Barnett would take it in from 2 yards out following an 8-play, 61-yard drive taking 3 minutes and 6 seconds. And with a 12:32 remaining in quarter number 2, Shepherd ties it up at 7. It was then Grant Swinehart making his way into the end zone, this time from 3 yards out. Extra point for Baker, up and good to cap off a 5-play, 27-yard drive, taking 3 minutes and 10 seconds off the clock with just under 7 minutes to play in quarter number 2. Shepherd got their first lead of the game at 14-7. The Rams would make it 21-7 when Mike Hardyway found Cordell Batten on the catch and run from 40 yards out. Extra point, up and good. That was a short drive, just 4 plays, but covered 60 yards in just 23 seconds. All those scoring drives brought to you today and all season long by Senate's Finance Chair, Jason Barrett. All right, we're going to step aside here at the stadium on the backside of this timeout. It is time for the halftime scoreboard show with Kyler High. He will have some scores from around Division II football and Division I scores of interest. After that, we'll come back, do some stats, hear from Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook, and get you ready for the third quarter of action here at Rams Stadium. At the half, it is Shepherd 21, Shippensburg 7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Beck and Matsurif Law Offices. 50 years experience. No fees unless we collect money for you. Always here to help you. Any questions? LawPBM. Raytheon.com.
This is Eric at Hagerstown Ford. We have been challenged to sell 20 new and used vehicles each and every day for the rest of the year. This means you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the largest Ford store on the I-81 corridor, ranked among the top dealerships in the country in sales volume and customer satisfaction. If you are even thinking about buying a new car, now is the time. Visit HagerstownFord.com and choose your new ride, and we will bring it to you. You will sign all the documents from your phone and skip that awful finance process that consumes your entire day in the dealership. Let's recap. Hagerstown Ford must sell 20 vehicles a day. You will sign all the documents from your phone on your time. We will bring your new ride to you, and you're done. It's that easy. If you don't like it, return it. Our return policy is better than Walmart, and our buying experience is better than Amazon. And you save thousands. Hagerstown Ford is the #1 Ford store from Winchester, Virginia to Washington, D.C., from Chambersburg, Pennsylvania to Baltimore, Maryland. Now, we want to be the #1 Ford store in the nation.
Hagerstown Ford, right off Interstate 81, across from the Valley Mall.
The Palace Lounge in Martinsburg is the place to be. Join us every night to relax and enjoy football or basketball games featuring either the Martinsburg Bulldogs, Shepherd University Rams, or West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Welcome into the Shepherd Football Halftime Show, brought to you by Dignity Memorial, Rosedale Funeral Homes and Cemetery. Attention to detail like no other. Visit dignitymemorial.com. Your Shepherd Rams currently winning 21-7 at halftime, as they are looking to make it 5 straight on the season after losing 4 straight, and they're looking to make it 5 against Shippensburg. Here's your PSAC scores around the area. Only one game has not started yet. That game will be starting at 2 o'clock, so I can get you a better update at the postgame show. Currently, number 3, Kutztown beating East Stroudsburg 35-3. Lockhaven just came back from halftime with a 21-0 score over Millersville. Apologies on the coughing. Edinburgh, that game is 14-0, as they have scored before I was able to edit the scoreboard show for you. Bloomsburg Westchester, that game is tied at 14-all. Number 24, Frostburg State is playing Cal. I'll get to that when we get to the Mountain East Conference games. Clarion versus Slippery Rock. Clarion has put up another touchdown on Slippery Rock, making it 14-7, with Clarion having the lead over Slippery Rock. Now, to your Mountain East scores. As I said earlier, Gannon and PA, they play at 2, so I'll be able to get you a better score update for that when we come back to the post-game show. Currently at halftime, you have Concord versus Wheeling in a close game. 13-7, Wheeling has the lead in that one. Frostburg State and Cal, a matchup between the Mountain East and the PSAC. You have 7-7 in the first quarter with 6 minutes left in the first. You also have West Virginia Wesleyan playing Charleston. Charleston is winning that game 21-0. Frostburg State and West Liberty are playing with 19 seconds left in the first quarter. These games have started at 1, I believe. Only one of them starting at 12, which would be the Concord Wheeling game. West Liberty currently has the lead over Fairmont State 14-7. And then West Virginia State versus Glenville. At the end of first, it's 14-7, with West Virginia State having the lead over that one. West Virginia fans, you started off good. Now you're letting them make a comeback. It's tied 21-all before the 2-minute timeout in the second quarter. Marshall played on Thursday and lost their game against Coastal Carolina. They lost that game 44-27. JMU played on Tuesday. They played against Texas State. That game was 56-20 with JMU getting the win. And then Liberty plays Delaware at 3:30 later on today. So post-game show, I'm more than likely be able to get you an update depending on how long this Shepherd game goes. JMU versus Marshall, they play next Saturday. So tune in to hear that, as two local West Virginia team and a team right down 81 play against each other. Now to get you some D1 scores out of interest. Number 1, Ohio State is beating Penn State 17-7. I'm sure Colin's happy about that, as he is a Penn State hater. Number 9, Vanderbilt losing to number 20 Texas with Arch Manning at the quarterback spot, 24-10, as Vanderbilt is down by 2 touchdowns. Number 10, Miami is beating SMU. That game, well, actually, they're tied at 7. Apologies. That game's in the second quarter. The Penn State-Ohio State game's about to go to halftime, and the Vanderbilt-Texas game is at halftime. Let me find some other better scores for you here. As later on in the day, you have number 2, Indiana versus Maryland. Number 5, Georgia versus Florida. Number 7, Ole Miss versus South Carolina. Number 8, Georgia Tech versus NC State. Number 12, Notre Dame versus Boston College. Number 13, Texas Tech versus Kansas State. 18 playing 14 with number 18, Oklahoma playing number 14, Tennessee. Number 15, Virginia playing California. Number 16, Louisville playing Virginia Tech. And then your college game day game, number 17, Cincinnati playing number 24, Utah. Number 21, Michigan versus Purdue. 23, Southern California, USC playing Nebraska. And all of those games are later on today. I can get you a better update at the post-game show, so don't leave. Stick around, and I'll have those updates for you at the end of this. No more updates on the score for you. I'll have more, especially in the PSAC for you at the end of the game. I'm Kyler Hyde, Talk Radio. Actually, not Talk Radio today. TV10 and WRNR TV with Shepherd Football. See you at the postgame show.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you.
Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti.
If you've been injured in a car accident, there are 3 things you need to know.
1, do not discuss your accident with an insurance company before you talk to a lawyer.
2, on average, car accident victims with a lawyer get over 3 times more money than those without one.
And 3, at Mansion Ferretti, if we don't win, you don't pay us, guaranteed. Car accident? Get more with Mansion Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Providing reliable protection since 1877, we are Farmers and Mechanic Insurance Companies. For over a century, we have been dedicated to provide dependable insurance protection and excellent customer service. We specialize in auto, home, farm, and business insurance. Our products are backed with personal, hands-on service. You can trust us to protect what matters most to you. For all of your insurance needs, there's Farmers and Mechanics Insurance Companies.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
Welcome back into the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm halftime show, brought to you by the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm in Martinsburg, where it's about seeking justice for you. Go to wvjusticelawyers.com. Right now, we're going to send it down to the field and hear from Wyatt Pelicano. He has got Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook, Wyatt and the Financial Growth Partners, where they're advancing human capital by redefining the intersection between people and money. Now let's send it down to Wyatt down on the field with Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook.
Guys, I'm standing here with Coach Mcook. Coach, outside of that first drive, kind of feels like we picked up where we left off. Feels like a lot of complimentary football being played. What's the mentality to walk out of here with a win?
You know what? We're not playing as good as we should. We've got too many penalties on the field. We're not executing crisply. We're making plays. We've got to lead, but I'm not satisfied with it. We've got to be better in all 3 phases. We shouldn't, and that's what we have to do in the second half.
Absolutely. Appreciate you, Coach. Thank you very much.
Again, that interview brought to you by Wyatt Pelicano and Financial Growth Partners, where they're advancing human capital by redefining the intersection between people and money. A big thanks to Wyatt handling those interviews, halftime and postgame for all of our Shepherd home games this year. And I agree with Coach McCook. The penalties you can't have, given the type of penalties they are, Travis.
If you just saw the way that this team performed last week versus a much better opponent and the way that they're performing so far against Shippensburg, there is a clear difference. There is a clear contrast, and the focus and the intensity is not there. It took Shippensburg driving down the field and scoring that touchdown on the opening drive to kind of wake up this Rams unit. And again, they were able to respond, put some points on the board, and take control of this game. But it is not the clean, intense, focused game that we saw out of this ball club last week. And if you show us something that good, man, we want to see it all the time. And that's something that we haven't seen so far today, but they have had enough success and been able to make enough plays to have the lead. But again, this is a program, they're not just satisfied with just any old type of effort. This is a program that has a winning tradition, and you want to see that carried out on the field with focus and intensity, and it hasn't been quite up to Coach McCook's liking so far here in the second half. I'm sure he's going to let the guys know about it during halftime.
Oh, no doubt about it. Yeah, you just look at the type of penalties they are. Because you look at 6 penalties for 36 yards for Shepherd. Obviously, the overall number of penalties is high, but the yardage not going to kill you if you have 36 yards of penalties. I think it's been situationally where they've happened that have been what is clearly making him a little more frustrated than most coaches would be with a 21-7 lead at halftime.
And you have the play where the defense does a great job making a stand. You have a 3 and out, and as you're walking off the field, somebody keeps chirping, and then that gets a 15-yard penalty and extends the drive for Shippensburg, and really just negates a chance of your offense getting the ball back with enough time to make something else happen to close it out. So again, it's just those small little miscues, miscommunications. You had the bobble snap early on. The snaps have been a little bit funky here in the first half. So again, it's just those small things that are always going to nag at a coach. It's just a coach has a different kind of mentality where they can go in and still be upset, even though they're up 21-7, because they know what their team is capable of. They know what they're working towards, and so far they've been coming up short here in the first half. So I certainly understand Coach McCook's irritation with his ball club here in the first half.
No doubt about it. Let's go ahead and send it back to the studio and take a 1-minute timeout. When we come back, we'll take a look at stats from the first half of this one. We're at the half. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 21-7. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
Nothing goes better with football than chicken. From Pee Wee to the big boys to the wing T formation. Oh my, fumbling, bumbling, stumbling. Rocks local market.
Insurance companies like to play games. They say they're on your side, but they aren't. We have a team that can handle any curveball they throw. At Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, you get a dedicated lawyer, and every case gets a team effort. So you get nearly 150 combined years of experience going to bat for you. And we like to win. Join the team that takes your personal injury case seriously. Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. We play hardball.
About 6 minutes and 40 seconds left in the halftime show. Both bands are here today. The Shippensburg band had their routine just about 5 minutes ago. Now the Ram band for their halftime show currently going on at midfield. Let's go ahead and take a look at some stats from the first half of this football game, brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com. Let's start with some team stats so far in this one. For Shippensburg, just 6 first downs in that first half. Shepherd, 11 first downs. Running the football, Shippensburg, 15 carries for just 6 yards. For Shepherd, they've run the ball 18 times for 92 yards. Through the air, 61 yards for Shippensburg, 134 yards through the air for the Rams. Total offense looks like this in the first half. Shippensburg ran 29 plays for just 67 yards. Shepherd running 35 offensive plays for 226 yards. Penalties. We talked about Shepherd's penalties going into that last break. 6 penalties for 36 yards. for Shippensburg, 4 penalties of their own for 27 yards. On third down, Shippensburg 2 for 8, 1 for 1 on fourth down for Shepherd, 4 of 7 on third down, and 0 for 1 on their fourth down conversion attempts. Time of possession, Shepherd has been on the field 14 minutes and 45 seconds. Shippensburg 15 minutes and 15 seconds, so almost identical in terms of possessing the football. Time for some individual stats, starting with the Raiders of Shippensburg University. Running the football, we mentioned not a whole lot doing on the ground in the first half, just 6 yards. Those 6 yards coming like this. 3 carries for Toby Stokes. He has got 12 yards in this one so far. Ethan Arneson has 8 yards on 4 carries. Khalil Durham, 3 yards on 2 carries. And Riley Gunnels has lost 17 yards, getting you, I know you're doing that math in your head going, wait, he had 6. These numbers aren't adding up. Gunnels lost 17 yards on sacks so far in this one. Passing for Riley Gunnels, 61 yards through the air. He is 7 for 14 with an interception on the day and 1 touchdown. We mentioned that sack number, 4 sacks so far in this football game. On the outside, Javon Parker, 2 catches on 4 targets for 38 yards and a touchdown. Tom Smicer, 1 target, 1 catch for 8 yards. Marcus Sweeney has been targeted twice. He hauled in 1 5-yard reception, and Toby Stokes, just 1 reception on 1 target as well for 4 yards. Going to Shepherd, individual stats look like this on the ground. Jordan Barnett, 9 carries for 71 yards and a touchdown. Grant Swinehart, 4 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Malachi Brown has 1 carry for 1 yard, and Hardyway, well, he lost a yard in the rushing category in the first half. Hardyway through the air, however, much more efficient. 11 for 17, 134 yards, and a touchdown in the first half. His receivers looked like this. 7 targets and 4 receptions for Cordell Batten, including a touchdown, and 39 yards after the catch on the 53 yards he had in the first half. Jaden Ashby, 3 catches on 4 targets for 35 yards. Malachi Brown, 1 target, 1 reception for 22 yards. And Kason Lanza, 1 target, 1 reception for 12 yards in the first half. First half stats were brought to you by Hagerstown Ford, revolutionizing the car buying experience. Go to HagerstownFord.com.
West Virginia Mountaineers. We will have steak night every Wednesday, trip nights every Thursday, trip nights every Thursday, and now taco and margarita nights every Tuesday. You can find us on Facebook or call 304-267-7520. The Palace Lounge is located at 1350 Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg.
Hello, Jonathan Bodwell, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, your local Medicare insurance agency. We are celebrating our 20th anniversary this year. The Medicare annual enrollment period is here. Medicare plans have changed drastically this year. We are here to help you with a no-charge review of your coverage. Don't get taken advantage of by a call center. Call us at 304-283-0864. Stay local with Bodwell Insurance Solutions.
Welcome back in as we wrap up the Mansion Freddie Law Firm halftime show. And Travis, what are you looking for out of Shepherd in the second half to continue their dominance from the first half and get above 500 in their 5th win of the year?
And I'm going to piggyback on what Coach McCook said going into halftime. I'm sure he went in there and lit a fire under his ball club during that halftime talk, and he wants to see them come out with some intensity and come out with some focus. So I want to see Shepherd come out and start this second half much the way Shippensburg started the first half, when they drive down the field, punch it in on a nice methodical drive, get that touchdown, and then the defense came out and had a nice 3-and-out and forced Shepherd into a punt. That's what I want to see out of the Rams here in the second half. They can't afford to take anybody lightly. Yes, we can clearly see that Shepherd has the better ball team than Shippensburg. So stop messing around. Go out there and play like that in the second half and put this game out of reach. That way you can start working in some of your younger guys. But I'm sure Coach McCook wants to see his team go out there and play some good, clean football and show everybody in this stadium that you are clearly the better football team in all phases of the game.
Simple, easy to remember. Just keep doing it and clean up the penalties. Both teams making their way to their sidelines as we are just about ready for action to begin in the second half here from Ram Stadium. A beautiful afternoon for football. Shepherd, 3 of their last 4 games right here at Ram Stadium at Lock Haven next Saturday. That'll be a 1 o'clock kickoff. We'll go on the air about 12:30 right here on TV 10 and WRNR TV on YouTube, and then we will finish the season right here at home, a 12 noon kick in Shepherdstown when Seton Hill comes to town. Shepherd going to get the football to start this second half. Our second half kickoff brought to you by the personal injury attorneys Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson. Visit burkeandschultz.com where they play hardball. Shippensburg making their way onto the field. Now are the Rams of Shepherd as well. 2 return men for Shepherd will be Malachi Brown and Carrington Nick and Jazeer.
And only one guy back deep, so you see Shepherd probably going to be cognizant of Shippensburg looking to get back into this game, possibly going for an onside kick. And you see the extra bodies up front for Shepherd just to account for that possibility.
It'll be Nick and Jazeer standing by himself at the 5-yard line. Malachi Brown stands at about the 24-yard line. And both scoreboards have lost power. Now they come back. Scoreboard's been a little tricky here at Ram Stadium the last 2 weeks. The new video board, it's only a few years old, right above the Monte Cater Field sign. And then the Old Faithful over the Ken Boone Fieldhouse to our left. Ready for action here to start the second half. A deep side-by-side kick that bounces into the end zone for a touchback. So Shepherd worry about a little trickery to start it, and nothing doing. It's a touchback. Shepherd's offense going to make their way back onto the football field.
And a nice directional kick, just trying to negate the possibility of any type of big return on the play.
Ball at the 25-yard line for Shepherd's first drive of quarter number 3. And you look at the defensive line of Shippensburg.
That's all you have to do. Give him the ball and let him do what he does well. And again, awesome play that time by Tunis, not giving up on it. You're looking for any type of positive that you can build on for Shippensburg, and guys making plays like that. Not giving up on a play, showing that desire, showing that they're willing to stay in the fight as long as they're out there on the field. So you appreciate a football player going out there trying to make a play, and Tunis comes up, went down awkwardly on that play. It's always kind of an awkward approach when you're trying to tackle somebody from behind. You usually get a heel or something in your chest, or you fall awkwardly. And right now, Tunis over on the sidelines getting some medical attention, but a great play that time by Barnett. But kudos to that Shippensburg defense for not giving up on the play.
Yeah, great angle of approach as Jordan Barnett not getting run down by too many people so far this season.
So many big gains so far this year for Barnett, and just you look at his physical stature, you wouldn't expect it out of him, but that's certainly a part of his game.
Play action pass, Hardaway going over the middle and overthrows the intended target. That was Kaysen Lanza on the post route right up the middle. Pass falls incomplete. 2nd and 10 coming up for the Rams. Ball at the 24-yard line.
Rams felt like they had a good matchup on that play. They had Lanza matched up on Nate Myers. Big size advantage in favor of Lanza, but Myers, pretty stout defender in the middle of the field. 78 tackles, 45 solo coming into today's game. Can also get into the backfield and be quite disruptive. Has 11.5 tackles for loss this year, including 3.5 sacks. So he's a player.
Brown comes in motion. Play action pass. Now looking for Brown over the middle, and a lot of contact, and there comes the flag from the back of the end zone. Malachi Brown couldn't even get his shoulders turned around as he was being held on the route, and Hardaway looking for him, and if Brown's able to get that separation, he's probably taking that in for 6.
DJ Jackson was like, you're going to have to earn it. You're not going to beat me like that. He just grabbed him. It almost looked like flag football, the way he just grabbed him by the hip and turned him all the way around. He was not going to let him break free on that play.
Automatic first down for Shepherd as that ball now up to the 11-yard line. Not even a minute gone, 14:02 remaining in quarter number 3, and Shepherd so far a good drive to start things off. 51-yard run for Jordan Barnett on the first play of the second half, and now a pass interference penalty has Shepherd knocking on the door. There is the snap. The give is to Barnett right up the middle. A little hesitation, breaks the tackle at the 5, leaning forward at the 2. He is down near the goal line. They'll give him the 1-yard line. Barnett almost able to rumble his way through into the end zone. Stopped just short. And Travis, look where that knows what the football is.
Again, just the shadow of the football is over the goal line, and Barnett inching closer to yet another touchdown. Coming into today's game, already has 12, 13 on the season, including today. He's sniffing for 14.
Shotgun formation. Shepherd at the goal line. 1st and goal. Hardaway waits a snap. He gets it. There's the give to Barnett right up the middle, and he's into the end zone. It's a Shepherd Ram touchdown for the 2nd time today. Jordan Barnett finds the end zone. Shepherd leads 27-7. Extra point coming up.
And again, nothing fancy. Give the ball to number 0 until he's tired. Then you plug in number 2 and let him run the ball. You've had that 1-2 punch all year long, and it has been one of the biggest parts of this resurgence that the Rams have enjoyed this season.
Baker awaiting that snap. There is a snap. The hold. The kick is up, and it is good. 13:20 remaining in quarter number 3. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 28-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
The thing I'm most passionate about with my clients is that 95% of them that come to me, they've never been in trouble in their lives. They've got careers, promising futures, things that matter.
So thankfully, after it was all said and done, I had no DUI and I had no more stress facing me or my family.
When you're on the fence whether to hire a DUI attorney, I always say that you really cannot afford not to. My name is Harley Wagner. My law practice has been exclusively focused on driving under the influence cases throughout the state of West Virginia.
I pre-planned my funeral to make it easier on my family. They were relieved to know I'll get just what I want.
My family actually thanked me for taking matters into my own hands. Turns out having this awkward conversation wasn't awkward at all.
Pre-planning is my choice. There are certain things about me my family may not know. Now they won't need to guess.
The choices are yours. The peace of mind is theirs. Pre-plan your funeral with Brown Funeral Homes and everything will be taken care of. Find out more online at brownfuneralhomeswv.com. Brown Funeral Homes, here for you.
28-7, Shepherd leads Shippensburg. Armisen and Stokes, the 2 return men, as Stokes retreats back to the 5-yard line. That's where he's going to start his return. He's across the 15, cutting to the near side, now retreats back inside the 15, and he is swallowed up at the 14-yard line. Good job on the coverage team for the Rams. 13-15 remaining in quarter number 3. And that is where Shippensburg will start their first offensive drive of quarter number 3.
A little bit of a frustration play that time by Stokes. He had a lane up the middle. That's where all his blocking was, but he tried to be a little bit greedy, bounce it outside, and trying to make the big play. Sometimes you got to take just what the defense gives you and set up your offense. You're not going to be able to do it all on your own, but understandably, you're starting to see a little bit of frustration leak through on this Shippensburg ball club.
Arneson is the tailback to the right of Gunnels. Gunnels going to drop back to pass, going down this near side and off the fingertips of the intended target. It was Marcus Sweeney on the near side, and good job on the back end. That was Jody Tolbert.
Again, they've gone to Sweeney several times, and there was no guesswork about it on that play. When Gunnels dropped back, he knew where he was going with the ball and nearly dropped a dime in there, and Sweeney just wasn't able to reel it in, but good coverage that time by Jody Tolbert to break up that attempt.
We now see the Wildcat look again. It's Dunbar in the backfield as the quarterback. He's going to pass it outside to Stokes. And that ball, did it go up the field? It did. They're going to say it's an incomplete pass. Nathan Muley fell on it regardless.
I like it.
Again, make the refs make that decision.
Yes.
Khalil Durham has been in the Wildcat a couple times today, but every time it's been running the football. This time he said, hey, I want to toss the pigskin a little bit, and found Toby Stokes, or at least he thought he was going to find Toby Stokes out of the backfield. Ball falls incomplete, and quickly, 3rd down already for the Raiders. The last scoring drive for Shepherd, 5 plays, 75 yards, 1 minute and 40 seconds off the clock, and a 1-yard touchdown run for Jordan Barnett. A whistle on the snap. I haven't seen a flag yet. And we do have a flag coming in the secondary. Did we get a timeout first called by Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook? Scoring drives brought to you by Senate Finance Chair Jason Barrett this week and every week.
And Shepherd has been involved in so many close games this year, even in their wins.
And Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook is going to go to the replay booth and hopefully get one to go his way. He is going to challenge that was an incomplete pass. He's believing that ball went backwards and a clear recovery by Nathan Muley. So if Shepherd's able to get this overturned, they'd already be knocking on the door looking for another score. Let's go ahead and send it back to the station, take a 1-minute timeout while our referees take a second look at this one. 13:05 remaining in the third quarter. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 28-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Sometimes our customers face circumstances that stretch their financial resources. At West Virginia American Water, we're here to help. Our customer assistance program can keep your life flowing by providing one-time assistant grants of up to $500, payment installment plans, and budget billing to provide predictable monthly bills. We also offer discounts of 20% for qualified low-income customers. To learn more about our customer assistance programs, visit westvirginiaamwater.com.
Remember all the sports we played when we were kids?
Oh yeah, swimming, tennis, basketball,
Football, soccer, track. I loved winning.
I still do.
Our competitive spirit is still going strong.
But now we use it to win for our clients. If you've been hurt in almost heaven,
call the Sevens, 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
All timeouts and replays this year brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-262-4222 or visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. Referees still in the challenge booth to our left. That has been Shepherd's least favorite room on the football field this entire season. But Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook throwing the challenge flag. He believes that pass was moving backwards and a clear fumble recovery by Nathan Muley. We'll see if the referees agree.
And Muley just making the savvy veteran play. You cover up the ball, you never know. Put the onus on the referees to make that decision, but you go out there, you're aggressive trying to make plays, and a lot of times that's where you're going to get the lucky bounces. That's where you're going to get the lucky calls. If you're just aggressive and you stick with it, you never know, you might get something to come your way, and the Rams just looking to take a stranglehold of today's game and coming out with a little bit more focus and intensity here in the second half. And again, you're up big. You're not worried about it if you challenge and you might lose a timeout. It's really not that critical at that point, but you're just looking to really press your advantage.
Shepherd games all season long brought to you by Smallwood & Small Insurance Agency, your total insurance solution located at 1250 Edwin Miller Boulevard, Suite 301 in Martinsburg. Call them at 304-263-3361. Replay still relatively new at the Division II level, but Shepherd has certainly seen their fair share of it this year. I think only one or two games that haven't seen the referees go into the challenge replay booth so far this season. And Shippensburg's offense that was on the field now being waved back off the field. So as the referees with their communication system, I'm sure, talking as the head referee now coming back onto the field. Certainly looks like this one is going to go the way of the Rams, and Shepherd is going to get the football.
The backward pass was dropped. Immediate recovery by the defense. Shepherd. Will be first down, Shepherd.
Ram football. Heads-up play by Nathan Muley to fall on that football. The pass went backwards. Muley fell on it after the incompletion, or fumble now that we look back on it, and Shepherd going to get the football. Goal to go situation at the 9-yard line. Already with a 28-7 lead, and they can really bust this one open early in the second half and make this a very tough remainder of the game for the Raiders of Shippensburg University.
The Rams, the last time they were able to benefit from a turnover this deep in Shippensburg territory, was not able to come away with points. So let's see if they've learned their lesson, change things up to try to ensure walking away with some points this time, and just taking a commanding lead here in the third quarter.
All right, we are back to action, and Shepherd getting ready to break the huddle. First and goal from the 9. Swinehart is the tailback to the left of Hardyway in the shotgun formation. 2 receivers to the right, 1 to the left. Coming in motion is Batten. Play action pass. Hardyway looking for the fade in the end zone. Jump ball. That incomplete. Good coverage on the back end. He was looking for Kaysen Lanza, and that one deflected on the way before it got to Lanza. Second and goal from the 9 coming up.
Josh Lacine doing a good job of playing the receiver's hands. He wasn't able, he was in the position he was in. It was a tight throw. Wasn't able to get his head around and locate the ball himself, but did a good job of playing the receiver's hands. And once he saw him go for the ball, that's when he swatted at the ball and able to knock that ball away harmlessly to the turf.
Jumbo look here, just one receiver in the formation. It's Ashby who stands to the right of the formation. The give to Swinehart. He starts at the middle and cuts left, gets down to the 6-yard line before he is taken down. A gain of 3 and third and goal now from the 6. And Travis, you mentioned it. They weren't able to do it on the last time they got a turnover at this juncture of the field. If you're Shepherd, you would love to make this a 35-7 football game.
And you've been able to run the ball with impunity so far today. Doesn't make sense that you get down this close to the goal line and Swinehart and Barnett both don't touch the ball repeatedly. Feed the hot hand. Nothing fancy about it.
2 receivers on the right. It is Roman Pearson and Jaden Ashby. Swinehart is the back to the left of Hardyway. Hardyway drops back to pass, looking for a fade in the end zone, looking for Pearson, and off of his right hand falls incomplete. And 4th down coming up for the Rams. Let's see what they elect to do.
And I'm not sure why you go for these fades down here like we talked about. Shippensburg, they've got some taller guys in the secondary, and Shepherd really doesn't have the bigger wide receivers out on the edge where they have that type of height advantage where a fade would make sense. So, again, you get down this close, you're on the doorstep. The play calling has been a bit of a head-scratcher. You got 2 big bangers in the backfield. Feed them the ball. Let them do the dirty work.
Keith Baker on for the field goal attempt. The 24-yard kick is up, and it is good. 12-12 remaining in the third quarter. Shepherd extends their lead over Shippensburg 31-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10. We're back in a minute.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, owners just care more about you.
The Rams looking to make it 5 in a row. They currently lead rival Shippensburg 31-7. A little over 12 minutes remaining in the third quarter. Kickoff, a fair catch called for by Stokes at the 9-yard line, and that'll be a touchback, moving the football out to the 25-yard line.
Smart play. Give your offense a little bit of room to work with when they get that drive underway. Even pick the hash that you're able to line it up on. They're going to come out on that left hash, so let's see if they're going to try to use that wide side of the field to create some opportunities to make some big plays. But, again, that Rams front seven has been relentless in pressuring Gunnels, and he's just had a difficult time settling down and throwing accurate balls on time.
Gunnels awaits the snap. He gets it and will drop back to pass. Looking over the middle, now flush to his right. Going to throw on the run. He's got a receiver wide open at the 40-yard line, catching an advancement up to about the 41 on the reception. That is Javon Parker. The 6'1 redshirt sophomore has made his presence known on the outside. A few receptions so far in this game. They'll give him the 42-yard line and a fresh set of downs for the Raiders.
And Parker coming into today's game having 26 catches for 266 yards and 2 touchdowns. He is a playmaker for the Shippensburg offense.
Shotgun snap again for Gunnels. A quick screen to the right side and nowhere to go as the receiver dives forward just to get back to the line of scrimmage. It was Derek Guzman, the 5'11 redshirt freshman, on the reception. And had to run about 20 yards just to get back to the line of scrimmage. A lot of dancing and falling forward. Brings up 2nd down and 10 and a hard-fought one at that.
And you see that's why this Shepherd defense, when they're playing good football, that's when they're at their best. Is that they have so many athletes, they're so quick to the ball, they do such a good job of rallying to the football. So even though Shippensburg had them briefly out of position, it didn't stay that way, and the defense was able to read and react and make that tackle.
The give to Arneson, he's going to go right up the gut and hit hard once he met the 45-yard line. Nowhere to go. A gain of 3, and he earned every yard there. Brings up a down and long. It'll be a 3rd and 7 now for the Raiders.
Gio DeTolber comes up and tattoos the ball carrier on that play. Again, just the running has been tough sledding for the Shippensburg offense all year long. Again,
offense has been tough sledding for this Shippensburg team all year long, and especially today, no different. 3rd down for the Raiders, 2 receivers each side of the formation. It's Arneson to the left of Gunnels in the shotgun formation. Gunnels takes the snap. Looking right, now looking left. A quick fire, and that in and out of the hands. And was it a catch? No, it did bounce before it got there. But referees are going to have a conversation. That ball is caught. It is short of the line to gain, but an acrobatic catch made by Marcus Sweeney on the near side right in front of the Shippensburg bench. Gets up to midfield and brings up 4th down and 2.
If he's able to catch that ball cleanly, pretty good chance of converting the 1st down, but mishandled the ball, but did a good job of making an acrobatic catch and securing the possession, and one of the referees coming in to save the day.
Shippensburg 1 for 1 so far on the day, and a whistle blows and some movement on the offensive side of the football, and let's see if this will keep the Raider offense on the field, or a 4th and 2 turning to 4th and 7 is too much, and it is the punt team making their way out.
And your team that's struggling to win ball games, it's those type of plays that just have that snowball effect. It starts with the bobbled catch that should have been a 1st down, put you in a 4th and short, then you try to come out and use tempo to possibly convert that 1st down, and then you get a penalty and knocks you out of a 4th down conversion attempt.
And Gursky on to punt it away. End over end kick. Batten going to take it at the 22-yard line. Little hesitation, goes right up the field, gets to the 30 before he is taken down. Never really had his footing on that return, Travis.
And again, he picked up what he could, and that's why you have one of those veteran ball carriers back there for you. They're going to make a good decision with the ball, didn't try to force it, didn't try to bounce it outside and possibly even draw a penalty. You get what you can get, but most importantly, you secure the possession and give your offense some good starting field position.
Jackson Sigler in the game at quarterback. We see a 12 giving the play in the huddle. We've seen him sporadically this year later in ball games, and to show kind of a different look, more of a running style quarterback. Let's see if this is his game the rest of the way. We've seen him alternating with Ezra Bajent when there's been some backup duties that are needed for the Rams. Sigler stands in the shotgun formation. He takes a snap, a little hesitation. He's now going to take it himself and lean forward, gets up to the 32-yard line before he falls down. And again, didn't really have his footing.
Yeah,
somewhere between that 20 and 35-yard line. Shepherd is just having some issues getting their footing. Gain of 2 on the play. 2nd down and 8 as Sigler makes his way back to the sideline. So, again, just a play here and there for him. With the score, you weren't sure whether Coach McCook was going to start to get some of the younger guys in. But it is Mike Hardyway who is back in the shotgun formation, making the pistol with a blocking back to his right. Barnett is the tailback. He stands at the 25-yard line with a receiver on each side of the formation. They give his to Barnett right up the gut, gets to the 38-yard line. They'll give him the 39. 3rd down and 1 coming up for the Rams.
Now you're starting to see this Rams offensive line starting to wear down that defensive front for Shippensburg. Like we mentioned, they don't have a lot of size up front. They're trying to rotate guys in and out, but if you don't have that talent in the trenches, it's going to be a long day for you on both sides of the ball.
They do push the football back to the 38, brings up a 3rd down and 2. Barnett still the tailback, and he gets the carry once again, lowering his shoulder up to the 41, 42-yard line, and that's enough to move the chains. It's a 1st down, Shepherd.
And Barnett setting up a little deeper in the backfield and is just allowing those offensive linemen a little bit more time to do the dirty work, wash that defensive front down. And Barnett does, again, just such a good job with his patience and his vision. And then once he starts going downhill, that momentum was able to carry him past the line to gain.
7:35 on a running third quarter clock here in Shepherdstown. Shepherd the commanding 31-7 lead over rival Shippensburg. Two receivers to the near side of the formation. Shotgun snap coming up for Hardaway. Barnett is to his left. To give his to Barnett. A little hesitation in the backfield. Breaking tackles as he's into Shippensburg territory down to the 40-yard line before being tackled at the 39. First down Shepherd, and Jordan Barnett having quite a second half so far in this football game.
Malachi Brown doing a good job of staying on his block down the field. When you get out on the edge and you expect those long runs, usually it's a result of the wide receivers busting their humps to get down the field and make those blocks out there on the edge. And that time, Malachi Brown was just that guy. Did a good job of sealing off the defender to the outside. Barnett, again, using that vision, reading his block, and cutting it up to pick up a nice chunk gain on that last play.
Fresh set of legs in for the Rams as Grant Swinehart stands behind Hardaway in the pistol formation. Man in motion, two receivers to the far side. They gave us to Swinehart, who goes right up the middle inside the 35-yard line down to the 32.
And Swinehart had a variety of options on that play. He chose to take it right down the middle, but if he puts his foot in the ground and cuts it back, that backside block was secured as well. So this Rams offensive line just having their way here and getting back to the football that they played last week versus East Stroudsburg, where they just completely dominated that ball game.
2nd and 4 coming up for the Rams as they've now definitely slowed down the tempo. They're going to run the football. They're going to take their time breaking the huddle. As the clock right now, with the way Shippensburg's been playing, the clock the only thing in their way from them in the 5th straight victory. They give to Swinehart. He's inside the 30-yard line, and that's enough for a first down Shepherd. Swinehart not taken down until he gets to the 26.
And not touched until he gets about 5 or 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. Again, this Rams offensive line has just been dominating here the past couple of weeks. They start off a little bit slow today, but have certainly picked up the intensity, especially here in the second half.
Ball at the 26-yard line, right hash. Swinehart stays in the game at tailback. Pistol look for the Rams with two receivers to the far side of the formation. Two tight ends come in motion. It's Lown and Jester, the two tight ends in the formation. The pitch to the left side, that's Swinehart. He's got a seam as he gets to the 20-yard line and cuts up field before being pushed out of bounds. We'll see where he stepped out. They're going to say the 18-yard line. That's a gain of 8 on first down, and a second and manageable once again coming up for Shepherd.
You already had a great game from Barnett, and now it's time to get Swinehart into the mix. The Rams have enjoyed this solid 1-2 punch all year long. And again, you have these type of guys. They both bring their kind of unique skill set, but very similar in what they like to do out there on the field. But it's always nice when one gets tired, you can sub the other one in and really keep that offensive playbook wide open for both of them.
Sigler back in the game again. He's going to call his own number as he gets tackled at the 16-yard line. Little hesitation and started left before cutting upfield, and once again is going to make his way to the sideline, and number 5 back in the ball game.
And it's just something that you want to put on tape, and that's something that your next opponent, they're going to have to study that, and they're going to have to spend practice time accounting for that. So Shepherd showing a little bit of gamesmanship and putting a little something out there, making opposing defenses think, is this something that we could see more of in the weeks to come?
Sigler's gain up to the 15-yard line, enough to move the chains, so it's a first down for Shepherd, 1st and 10 from the 15. Man in motion is Brown. There is a snap that gave us to Swinehart. Started right and nothing doing there for the Rams. Swinehart going to lose 1 or 2 on the run. They're going to say push back to the 16-yard line. Loss of 1. Now 2nd and 11 for Shepherd. And that time it seems like Shippensburg said, you know what, we know they're running the ball. We're just going to send 8.
And smart adjustment, and Swinehart did a good job of holding on to the football, because now you're starting to see those Raider defenders really trying to rip at the ball, punch at the ball, just trying to create something, some type of positive play to get the ball back into the hands of their offense.
2nd and 11, ball at the 16-yard line. one receiver in the formation, as the give is to Swinehart. Some misdirection in the backfield after the play, but Swinehart lowers his shoulder and just gets back to the line of scrimmage.
Always a nice compliment when you're doing those zone plays, when you have that end-around fake off of the end of it, because it's one way of really trying to make that backside defender play disciplined football, and he just can't crash down to try to take away that inside zone.
Shepherd once again in the red zone. Let's see if they can find their way into the end zone. It's been hit or miss so far today, and it looks like we have an injury in the secondary. Looks like DJ Jackson down on one knee. Play stops momentarily. Let's go ahead and take a 30-second break with them as well. 2:32 remaining in quarter number 3. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 31-7. We're back in 30 seconds.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Jackson able to get off the field under his own power. That's both teams now breaking their timeouts. 2:32 remaining in quarter number 3. It's all Rams, 31-7. Now, we have seen this story before where Shepherd has had a commanding lead going into a fourth quarter of a game, and the scores ended up a lot closer or not in favor of the Rams when the clocks hit 0. But this game just feels a little different than what East Stroudsburg and Slippery Rock are the two games that I was referring to.
Yeah.
But this game just seems different as Shippensburg is, other than their first drive, which, great job. The first 10 script that you make at practice every week, they executed that perfectly. But since then, they've just not been able to do anything offensively. 3rd and 10, 3rd and 11 out of the timeout for the Rams. Shotgun formation. Barnett is the tailback. Play action pass for Hardyway. Looking in the end zone. He has Brown there. Did he come down with it? He did not. Incomplete, as Malachi Brown was the intended target. Made the catch but did not come down inbounds. 4th down now for the Rams in the field goal unit making their way onto the field. It was a great throw, just not inbounds enough for Malachi Brown to establish possession inbounds.
And several misfires down in the red zone for this Rams offense. You figured that they were going to come in. They've had success running the ball, but once they get down this close to the goal line, and credit the Shippensburg defense, they've made their adjustments, and they certainly stiffen up once they get down inside the red zone. I think the referee's going to look to probably put some time back on the clock, because after that incompletion, it looked like about almost 10 seconds ran off the clock.
And it might also be a additional challenge here for Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook. 1 for 1 on the day so far. Waiting to hear the official word from our head referee. And Shepherd will challenge him. Malachi Brown did come down with that football. We will step aside while they take a look at this play again. See if it is a 16-yard touchdown pass to Malachi Brown, or if Keith Baker will once again line up for a field goal attempt. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd Ram Football on TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at fordofhagerstown.com or hancockchevy.com.
We remind you all season long that replay is brought to you by the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results. Looking for a home in the tri-state area? Call the Larry DeMarco team at 304-262-4222 or visit them online at modernrealtyresults.com. Referees are in the replay booth for the second time in the third quarter. Call on the field was an incomplete pass that Malachi Brown did not get possession inbounds from 16 yards out, and it seems to be the way that is going to stay. So we'll stay fourth down as you just see the call from our head referee. And once again, Keith Baker will line up for the field goal attempt. This one from about 34 yards out. Between the two hashes, Baker so far today 1 for 1 on field goal attempts and perfect on his extra points. The lefty awaits play to resume as the whistle blows, and we are ready for action once again. Field goal coming with 2:14 remaining in the third quarter. Shepherd looking to make it a 34-7 lead. The snap, the hold, the kick by Baker is up, and it is good. Keith Baker makes it 34-7 Shepherd with 2:08 remaining in quarter number 3. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10. We're back in 60 seconds.
When it comes to surgery, experience and innovation matter. At WVU Medicine, our board-certified surgeons use the latest robotic and minimally invasive techniques to provide better outcomes and faster recoveries. We offer a full range of procedures including advanced hernia repair, anti-reflux surgery, breast cancer surgery, colon resection, gallbladder removal, skin cancer, and lesion removal. Trust the region's leader in advanced surgical care. Call WVU Medicine Surgery today at 304-596-2150.
After a car accident, call the local law firm that can give you the help you need right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti, the one with 115 years of combined experience fighting for West Virginia accident victims. Get more with Manchin Ferretti,
the one that takes on the big insurance companies.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. We're Manchin Ferretti.
After a car accident, we'll fight for every dollar you deserve. And if there's no recovery, there's no fee. So call right now.
Get more with Manchin Ferretti. 304-264-8505.
Stokes and Arneson, the two return men for Shippensburg, as the Shippensburg band comes alive below us, which I'm sure you can hear. Stokes going to be the return man. He takes it at the 7, crosses the 10 to the 15 in the middle of the field. Now cuts to the left side, nowhere to go once he crosses the 15-yard line. Looks like they get him to about the 17 or 18-yard line, but once again, not ideal field position for the Raiders of Shippensburg University. Shepherd's coverage team been very, very good today.
And we knew that was going to be a key coming into today's contest. Just going to play a clean brand of football. As far as special teams are concerned, you don't want to allow any type of big momentum plays to get that Shippensburg sideline fired up. And the Rams have done a good job just keeping everything under control on each one of these kickoffs.
Gunnels takes that snap in the shotgun formation, looking deep. He's going to put some air underneath one, looking for a man downfield, and that one almost intercepted. Good coverage on the back end by Menka. And almost able to come down with it, and the receiver really playing more defense on that than Menka had to. The intended target was Caden Pines, and he really poked that one out of the hands of Menka as it was coming down.
And Menka kind of helped him out a little bit, mistimed his jump. You think back to last week versus East Stroudsburg, and Menka played an excellent game last week, but it was a couple times where he just mistimed the ball and not able to come away with the interception, and so far it's still eluding him today.
Gunnels with the hand off the left side, nowhere to go for the running back. This was hesitating back and forth and waiting for a hole to open up, and there just was nothing there. Ethan Arneson on the carry, the 5'8", 190-pound sophomore from Union Bridge, Maryland, Linganore High School.
And no push up front from that Shippensburg offensive line. We know Shepherd, a lot of times they're the undersized unit. But today, they probably feel pretty confident in their matchup, not giving up as much weight as they usually do week to week here in the PSAC.
Empty set for Gunnels. He's got 3 receivers to his right, 2 to the left. 1 12, 1 10:109 on a running third quarter clock. Gunnels drops back to pass, looking left, nowhere to go, fires over middle, and that one picked off in the secondary. Down at the 25-yard line, another interception for the Ram defense. That one, number 28, Chin Thompson.
He's been playing well all year long. Is a force in the run game, is not shy about coming up there and sticking his face in the action. That time, this did a good job of breaking on the ball, and Gunnels just staring down his receiver. He threw into double coverage on that time, and Chin Thompson was able to take care of the rest again. This Rams offense having a chance to set up shop deep in Shippensburg's territory, and another change there at quarterback.
That's Ezra Bajan in with Zion Grantham to his right. We'll see if Bajan is for a play or if Bajan's going to get some action. He gets drilled as he throws, gets the completion to the near side. Roman Pearson with the reception of the 21-yard line, and Ezra got drilled on the blind side on that throw.
He took a shot that was Connor Black blitzing off that backside. The 6'2", 230-pound redshirt sophomore. One of the few times that Shippensburg has been able to get pressure on the quarterback. And Bajan did a good job of getting that ball out quickly and accurately to avoid that sack.
Gain of 4 on the play brings up 2nd down and 6. And it does look like Bajan going to get this series. Maybe more. We'll see how long this goes as we approach the end of quarter number 3. Bajan drops back, pass again, fires over, making the catch. Is that Ashby on the far side? That is Jaden Ashby on the far side with the reception. He takes it inside the 10 to the 5-yard line, and Shepherd once again in this football game inside the red zone, inside the 10, now at the 5-yard line, and the 1st and goal snap from the 5 will happen to start quarter number 4. We are through 3 here at Ram Stadium, and it is all Rams, 34-7 over the Raiders of Shippensburg. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com. Floor Pools, your swimming pool and hot tub builder, retailer, and service provider, serving homeowners in Pennsylvania, Maryland, West Virginia, and Virginia. Floor Pools takes pride in providing quality construction, reliable service, and exceptional customer service. Experience the ultimate relaxation and the serenity of soaking in your own hot tub. Your new backyard lifestyle awaits. Start your journey today at Floor Pools in Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg. FloorPools.com. That's FLOHR Pools.com.
Shepherd 15 minutes away from making it 5 straight and 7 straight over Shippensburg, and they are knocking on the door once again. 1st and goal from the 5, a 34-7 lead, looking to make it more. Ezra Bajan in at quarterback, Zion Grantham, the running back to his left in the shotgun formation. Shepherd working into the Ken Boone Fieldhouse. There is the snap. The give is to Grantham. He gets to the line of scrimmage, leans forward, maybe a gain of 1. 2nd and goal.
And it's been tough to run on Shippensburg here down close to the goal line. They do have a nice contingent of very active linebackers. We've mentioned several of them today, and they do a good job of flying to the football. But the Rams have just stalled out several times. Once they've got down here in the red zone, they get the ball with good field position, but haven't had a lot of success converting them into touchdowns. They've got field goals, but they haven't been getting touchdowns. You know that's something that the coaches are going to bring up going forward.
Pearson comes in motion right to left. Shotgun snap coming up. Again, the give is to Grantham. Starts right, now cuts back up the middle. Gets near the goal line, but I think stopped just short, and they will say inside the 1. That's the second time Shepherd has been stopped inside the 1-yard line in this game. Bring up a 3rd and goal from the half-yard line.
About as close as you can get to the end zone without actually breaking that plane. See if the Rams have learned their lesson, see if those adjustments are paying off, see if they're going to be able to punch it in this time.
Shotgun formation. Ezra Bagent and Zion Grantham in the backfield. There is the snap. They gave this to Grantham, and he gets to the goal line, and he's in. Zion Grantham from 1 yard out extends the Ram lead to 40-7 with the extra point by Baker coming up.
And again, nothing fancy. You're running the ball downhill. You let those offensive linemen do what they do best, and that's reestablish that line of scrimmage, and that time was just able to create enough space for Grantham to punch it in. And now the Rams, execution, intensity, ratcheted up here in the second half and able to make the most of it.
Grantham's first touchdown of the year, just a few carries coming into this game, and even fewer yards. The extra point is up, and it is good for Baker with 13:35 remaining in the football game. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 41-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows. Whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Two return men stand at the 5-yard line for Shippensburg. It is Stokes and Arneson. Collins with the kickoff. That's going to Stokes, who retreats to the 4-yard line to start the return. He's across the 15, cuts upfield at the 20, and dives ahead to right around the 23-yard line. And we saw a new quarterback warming up on the sideline. It does look like a new man at the helm, the 6'2 sophomore from Quakertown, Pennsylvania, Vincent Makuchi.
Filled in a couple games last year and comes in and a little bit more of a running threat from that quarterback position. And the troubles that Shippensburg offensive line has had this year, you need a quarterback with some mobility back there.
Mobility, but you see the knee brace on the right knee. Stokes is the tailback. Makuchi drops back to pass. A quick pass and a curl route. That one caught on the near side. Bringing that one in was Javon Parker. And a quick gain on first down. Gets about half of what they need. Gain of 5. 2nd and 5 coming up.
And eBay was quick to react and push the wide receiver out of bounds on that play. And again, we've seen that several times today, that these Rams defensive backs, there hasn't been one guy in coverage, it's been multiple guys in coverage, and they've really been squeezing hard on those receivers.
Again, the quick pass out to Parker. And Makuchi wasting no time. This one a gain of just a couple. And you'd like Parker to know where the sticks are on that play. He's getting cushion, running that curl route, and you got to know where the sticks are. Run that route a couple yards longer. Now brings up a 3rd down and 2.
These Shippensburg wide receivers have not been doing their quarterbacks any favors today. Just like you said, not getting to the sticks, not breaking off their routes and helping out the quarterback when he's scrambling around running for his life.
Makuchi sends Stokes in motion out of the backfield. He looks to take it himself and swallowed up immediately. Nowhere to go. And Makuchi still down on the turf right in his face immediately was Jalen Edwards.
He's been an active defender coming in off the edge. Has already made a couple plays today, and that time just having a one-on-one shot on the quarterback, and Makuchi just did not pick him up coming off the edge. He takes a hard shot.
And we mentioned the knee brace on the right knee. Hopefully he is okay. Looking like he's in some pain right below us, and like most of us would be with that hit he just took.
Or the hits that position has been taking for Shippensburg all year long.
So Shippensburg going to give the football back. Wilson Ingursky stands at his own 10-yard line. Batten stands at his own 35. Ingursky gets that punt away. This one angling towards the sideline, bounces at the 40. Now takes a sideways roll and will be downed at the 37-yard line. So Shepherd, once again, pretty good starting field position. 11:55 remaining in the ball game. Let's see who comes out at quarterback, and it looks like Sigler going to be the one commanding the offense on this drive. And we've seen both of those guys come in this year. It has been in an alternating role like this, and against Bloomsburg, we even saw them alternating play-by-play. So we'll see if Sigler gets this whole drive. Waiting in the shotgun formation. Gives it off to a tailback who goes right up the middle, breaking tackles across midfield into Raider territory. And on that carry, that's a 35. That's Jabril Daniels. Jabril Daniels, the 6-foot freshman.
Yeah.
Product of Fort Hill High School.
That makes sense.
Yes, hard-nosed runner, Fort Hill High School, never heard of it.
That makes sense.
And a player down for Shippensburg at the 45-yard line. Let's go ahead and step aside. We'll take a 30-second break as well with 11:40 remaining in the ball game. Shepherd leads Shippensburg 41-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
When will I be able to retire? How do I make the most of the money I have? How do I leave a lasting legacy to my loved ones? I'm Philip McCoy, financial advisor with the Mirius Group, a private wealth advisory practice of Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated. Call us today at 304-263-4343 to help you make the most of your financial future. Our office is located at 1270 Winchester Avenue, Martinsburg, West Virginia.
Ameriprise Financial Services Incorporated, member FINRA and SIPC.
Out of the timeout, the give is to Daniels right up the middle. Again, not going down on first contact as he leans forward and gets to the 44-yard line. Second and 8 now for Shepherd. Has some youngsters in the ball game. This is going to be one of those quickly look down at your roster every time somebody else catches the football or runs the football. We know it's big number 12, Sigler at quarterback. And behind him is Jabril Daniels, 6-foot freshman. There is the snap, the pitch to Daniels on the right side. He gets to the 45-yard line, cuts back and gets all the way down to the 43 before he is taken out of bounds. Gain of a couple on the play.
And that's one of the things that you're able to do when the game starts getting out of hand like this. There's still some value to be had when you're able to work in some of your younger guys. You can develop that depth because they're getting some live reps against an opposing team's number ones, and they're going out there and just building that experience, building that confidence. And then as the season goes along, you have a little bit more confidence in your depth because they have gone out there and performed for you in a live game situation.
Sigler gives to Edwards right up the middle. He cuts to the right side and a shoestring tackle away from taking it to the house. Gets down to the 31-yard line. The fresh set of downs for the Rams as the chains move. Oh, that was close to being taken to the house for the freshman.
How many of those have we seen today? Those Shippensburg defensive backs. You can tell they get a lot of practice at it, getting a lot of tackles. They get a lot of action in their face right away, and they are sure-handed tacklers in the open field.
Sigler shotgun formation with 3 receivers to the near side of the formation. There's the snap. It's going to be a quick screen to the near side. That one caught and taken down inside the 30, down at the 27. On the reception, that is number 83, Dominic Bonassi.
I'll go with it.
If you're good with it, I'm good with it. Somebody will correct us down the road if we're wrong.
Oh, yeah.
The joys of social media, somebody will correct us.
Good throw that time by Sigler, leading his receiver up the field, allowing him to make a play after the catch.
They give this to Edwards. He goes right up the middle, barreling inside the 20-yard line down to the 18. And we're going to go Bonasisi on that one. I think there's an extra S in there. Yeah, Bonasisi. First down, Shepherd, as they're once again inside the red zone. They have lived in the red zone today and been pretty successful, although you could see some more points on that scoreboard if they would convert it, a couple of ones inside the 10. Right now with the football, as the clock runs closer to that 8-minute mark, first down and 10 ball at the 18-yard line. Receiver comes in motion. Sigler going to take it himself, looking for blockers off that right side. Turns scoring to the 15. He's to the 10, the 5. Does he find the pylon? He does! Sigler takes it in from 18 yards out. Touchdown, Shepherd.
Sigler doing a great job of just using his blocks the entire way down the field, presses it out there to the edge, didn't lose patience, didn't try to cut it back there too premature. Did a good job of just getting north and south there on the sideline and showing that speed and athleticism. And you see why that Rams offense, they like to use him in different occasions, because he gives you that type of versatility, that type of mobility out of the quarterback position that the other two guys, that's really not the strength of their game.
Baker on for the extra point. There is the snap, the hold, the kick is up, and it is good. 7:56 remaining in the game, and the Shepherd Rams all over the Shippensburg Raiders, 48-7. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10. We're back in 60 seconds.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Arden Nullville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com. The Berkeley and Morgan County Health Departments want to help keep our communities, including backyard flocks and farms, safe from H5N1, the avian flu. To stay up to date with current risk levels and CDC recommendations, as well as disease prevention information shared by the U.S. Department of Agriculture, be sure to check out the Community Resources section of the Berkeley-Morgan County Health Department at bchealthdept.org. This ad has been made possible through a grant-funded partnership with the West Virginia Department of Health.
Sam Collins on to kick it off for Shepherd. They are dominating, and the ship is almost sunk at this point. 48-7, Shepherd leading Shippensburg. 7:56 remaining in the game. Shepherd on their way to their 5th consecutive victory, and whistles blow, and the ball gets blown off the tee. So let's try that again. The two return men for Shippensburg stand at the 5-yard line. It's Stokes and Arneson. Collins approaches. This one a end-over-end kick, and the two up men are both going to call for a fair catch at the 20-yard line, and luckily one of them able to haul that one in. So his tight end landed in Bailey, and that makes sense. He's used to catching passes and calls for that fair catch.
He's a young, talented player for the Shippensburg offense. Has been held largely in check today, as much of the Shippensburg offense has been, but he's coming off of a good game last week versus Lockhaven. Had 3 catches for 39 yards and 2 touchdowns. So certainly a young up-and-comer, a name that you definitely want to keep tabs on. He's going to make some plays.
New quarterback in for Shippensburg. It's Colton Kilmer, the lefty. A quick pass out to the far side. That one caught moving up a couple yards. On the reception is Carson Swartz. Swartz, a 5'10 sophomore from Carlisle, Pennsylvania. And Kilmer quickly gives way. This looks like we might get a little more Wildcat style here. Kilmer has seen some action this year. He's appeared in one game, went 2 for 3 in that game for 32 yards. Clock running, 7:20 on a running fourth quarter clock. Durham in the backfield, as well as Mikey Preston. Durham going to take it on this near side, going to keep it himself. Turns upfield at the 28-yard line before he is taken down. Really just back at the line of scrimmage. No gain on that play unless they give him about a half yard. But still a 3rd down and long coming up for the Raiders.
And Durham not too far removed from playing a quarterback himself in his high school days in the Philadelphia area. Rushed for over 1,000 yards at that quarterback position as a senior in high school.
Kilmer back in at quarterback. He's got 3 receivers to the far side of the formation, 1 to the near side. Waits that snap now, gets it. The lefty with nowhere to go, going to get flushed to his left. It looks like he's got some wheels. As he gets to the 30-yard line, lowers his shoulder up to the 31. But it looks like he's still going to be a few yards short of what he needed. He needed the 35. Get there, 4th down, and the punting unit once again, where they've been familiar with all year on the field.
And again, Chin Thompson doing a good job of recognizing the quarterback, breaking contain, trying to pull it down, and Chin Thompson closing in quickly to force them into a 4th down situation.
Looks like a new return man back for Shepherd as well. Can't quite get a number, but will on the return. He takes it and muffs it at the 26-yard line. It is a 29 on the return, who crosses the 30 to the 35. A little hesitation before being taken down at right around the 36, 37-yard line on the return. That was Zachary Baker. Baker, a 5'10 freshman from Berlin, Maryland, product of Stephen Decatur.
Good job on that return. That was a difficult punt to catch right now. The sun beaming in his eyes. So Baker able to get the ball down on the turf. He secured it and then picked it up. And you certainly see why the Rams coaching staff has faith in him to return those punts. Was able to make something happen after he bobbled that punt initially.
Bajan back in at quarterback. Give right up the middle. Now bouncing it to the outside is Daniels as he crosses the 40-yard line up to the 42 before he is taken down. And while you're always trying to work on the young receivers, I would imagine you're going to see a lot of Daniels the rest of this game getting the handoffs. The work on the younger receivers generally when you're down by a lot late in the game.
Yeah.
The running backs get the fair share of the carries when you have the commanding lead that Shepherd does. But, again, don't be surprised to see a quick screen pass, a little bit more mixed in with Bajan as now sweep to the far side out of the backfield, and enough for a 1st down, and now some what looks like extracurriculars on the far side, and on that carry was Riley Ambrose.
And so far what I've seen from Daniels, wouldn't mind seeing him getting some more reps during the course of the game. You know, he comes from a top-notch high school football program at Fort Hill. They know how to run the football there.
They've won a state championship or 20.
Yeah. Pounding the football, so you know he can certainly carry the load here at Shepherd if he's called upon to do so.
Daniels with that carry gets to midfield before he is stood up. I'll give him the 49-yard line in Shippensburg territory, so a gain of a couple.
Daniels has that upright running style. I think that's something that the coaches will probably work with him moving forward, trying to get that pad level down. You don't want to expose your torso to that type of punishment from these college tacklers. So running behind his pads a little bit better, just going to help you protect the football, more importantly, protect yourself.
Bajan shotgun formation. So we have 3:30 remaining in the football game. The give is to Daniel. Starts the middle, now bounces to the outside. He's the 40, 35-30. Lowers his shoulder inside the 30. Ball pops out, but he was already down and out of bounds. He is stopped at the 27-yard line. And Travis, I'm with you. He's fun to watch and should be for the next few years.
Looks good. He lost the ball, lost his helmet. But he's making plays, and he's certainly getting some attention. And that's what you want to see. I mean, for both ball clubs, when the game's out of hand like this, you want to know who's still locked in, who's still focused, who's still ready, who's still in the fight. And that's something that could possibly earn you some more opportunities down the road. And Daniel's certainly trying to make the most of his opportunity here today in this blowout.
1st and 10, ball at the 28-yard line. Bajan awaits a snap. The give is to Grantham, who goes right up the middle. Tripped up at the 25-yard line. Grantham has found the end zone once already in this second half. And you can just see on the far sideline, this Ram team is ready to explode with this victory.
They had to battle back, sitting at 500. Today have an opportunity to get their head above water, so to speak, and they have earned the success.
And Coach McCook pointing down at the play clock and the game clock to Ezra Bajan that doesn't need to run a play, and now screaming that onto the field going, hey, guys, we don't need to run a play before the 2-minute timeout, as the clock now does hit 2 minutes here at Ram Stadium. We will step aside for a 60-second break. When we come back, we can watch Shepherd seal this one off with just 2 minutes left and a 48-7 lead. We're back in 60 seconds. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
Life is evolving. Over the past decade, the way we do almost everything has changed. Get on your phone, see something you like, click on it, and it shows up at your door. Why should the way you have your car serviced be any different? Why waste your time going to a dealership service department when Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to you? They service all makes, all models, and offer full parts and labor warranties. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet will come to your door or office and service your vehicle while you're doing what you need to be doing, conducting that business meeting or mowing the lawn. Why take time out of your busy schedule when you don't have to? Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet's friendly, knowledgeable staff will come to you where you live or where you work for full service maintenance, from oil changes to tire rotations, brakes, batteries, multi-point inspections. They handle it all. Hagerstown Ford and Hancock Chevrolet is committed to delivering the best of the best to their customers. Trust them to service your vehicle where you're at home or at work. Skip the time-consuming and terminal wait at the dealership. Schedule your appointment at FordofHagerstown.com or HancockChevy.com.
Bonus Hesse on the jet sweep as everybody coming back out quickly out of the 2-minute timeout as this all but wrapped up. The only thing separating Shepherd and their 5th win of the year is 1 minute and 35 seconds on the game clock. So a gain of a few brings up a 3rd down and 4 for the Rams. Bagent in the shotgun formation. Daniels to his right, and a timeout taken by Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook. We're going to keep it right here as we are a little over a minute away from the conclusion of this one. When we come back in the Palace Lounge postgame show, we'll give you a scoring recap, and that should take about 20 minutes in the way that Shepherd's been able to score the football in this football game. We'll give you some stats from this game as well. We hope to hear from Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook as part of the post-game, and then we will send you back to the studio where Kyler High will have the post-game scoreboard show with some other scores from around Division II football and Division I scores of interest as well. All that coming up in the Palace Lounge post-game show. 1 minute and 19 of game time away. Third down and 4. Football at the 22-yard line. And now a flag comes in. An illegal substitution for Shepherd. Let's move that football back 5 yards.
And at this point in the game, you know, you're putting in different people, you're pulling different people out, and sometimes there's going to be a miscommunication, and you're going to have an extra body out there on the field from time to time, but that's just the chaos here at the end of the game where you're looking to get in some young guys and give them a little bit of time out there on the field.
So let's try this 3rd down again. 3rd and 9, Bagent in the shotgun formation. Ambrose comes in motion. He will get it on the sweep. Cuts upfield inside the 30 to the 38, or make that the 28-yard line before he is taken down. And the clock still winding down as it's 4th down now for the Rams, and you would imagine they will just let this clock wind down. 30 seconds now on the play clock. Just shouldn't have to snap this ball till about 30 seconds on the game clock, and if a run gets them a 1st down, so be it. If not, it'll be up to Shippensburg to finish this one out. Bagent stands in the shotgun formation. Parker to his right. Bagent going to keep it himself, working the right side.
Stay in bounds.
Nowhere to go. And at this rate, Travis, it was going to be a change of possession. That clock was going to stop anyway. So with 32 seconds left, it should be one play needing to be run for Shippensburg, and we can close this 23rd meeting in this rivalry. And on the way to the 7th straight for the Rams, their 13th win overall in this rivalry. Kilmer back in at quarterback. .32 seconds left in the game. Kilmer awaiting the snap in the shotgun formation, and now a whistle blows, and Shepherd defensive coordinator Josh Klein wants to talk about this one. And who says sportsmanship is dead, folks?
Want to get the most out of every second that's on the clock.
And I think Josh Klein probably assuming, hey, they're probably just going to come out and run this up the middle or sit on it. But you could see a couple different receivers on this near side kind of going like this, going, hey, Kilmer, look at me. They're playing soft cushion on me here if you want to toss me one. So I think that's what Shepherd D coordinator Josh Klein wanted to talk about and go, okay, we got to actually scheme something up here, guys, because they're going to run a play or two.
And I think at this point, you want to make sure you get your personnel straight because we have so many people coming in and out of the game. You don't want to have any silly mistakes here later on, so you call that timeout. Make sure everybody's on the same page so that way you can close out this game as clean as you possibly can.
First and 10, ball at the 27-yard line for Shippensburg in their own territory. Kilmer takes the snap, looking left. He's got a target, makes the catch at the 33-yard line on that reception. That is 89. That is Sawyer Brookins, the 6'3", 210-pound redshirt sophomore from Greencastle, Pennsylvania. Clock stops at 27 seconds. And Travis, our thoughts of this one ending quickly. Shippensburg's got other ideas. It's a rivalry game, folks. What do you expect? 4 down linemen for the Rams. They're showing 5 on the rush. Give up the middle on that carry is a 26, Andre Weedman, the 6'1", 205-pound redshirt sophomore. And Shippensburg quickly back to the ball as we're under 20 to play. Under 15 now, 12 seconds, 11 seconds, 10 seconds left in the ball game. Kilmer back to pass, looking over the middle. He is going to take it himself and gets close to what he needs for the line to gain, but he is not going to get there. And as the clock hits 0 for the 5th time this year, go ahead and put a tally in the win column for the boys in gold and blue from Shepherdstown. Shepherd beats Shippensburg 48-7 for their 5th win of the year. The postgame show coming up next. We'll give you stats and analysis from this one, along with much more. Shippensburg drops to 2-7 on the year. Your Shepherd Rams now 5-4. This is Shepherd Ram football on TV 10.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows. Whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
Did you know a fully loaded truck weighs 80,000 pounds?
I do know that they can cause a lot of damage in a wreck.
Over 40,000 people die every year in crashes.
And distracted driving is getting even worse.
I wish we had better ways to prevent distracted driving.
Me too. But one thing we can do is help people who've been injured in car and truck accidents.
Hurting almost heaven? Dial the 7s. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
Hi, Crescia Hornby here. Larry DeMarco, broker of Modern Realty Results, believes he has some of the best real estate agents in the Eastern Panhandle. Agents at Modern Realty Results have years of experience and knowledge of the local real estate market. Agents within the office work as a team to provide quality customer service. We strive to always ensure client satisfaction through handling every transaction with honesty and integrity, all while offering competitive rates. Modern Realty Results is veteran-owned and managed. Please call us at 262-4222, modernrealtyresults.com.
This is Cody with Cody's Auto Body. The stories are on the way. Reliving glory days, the injury that prevented stardom, or the inevitable, I even could have made that play. With football season comes a lot of delusion of greatness. Well, no one believes you would have made it in the big leagues. Let's at least make them think you're a good driver. Bring that vehicle to me and I will make it the pride of the parking lot at every game. I'm Cody with Cody's Auto Body, the MVP of your season. That's Cody's with a T for f***ing trust.
Welcome back into Rams Stadium. Shepherd gets the win 48-7 over rival Shippensburg, improves to 5-4 on the year. Shippensburg not so lucky so far on the season. They are going to drop in the standings in the PSAC East and drop overall on the season to 2 wins and 7 losses. For TV10 Sports, I am Matt Crawford. To my left is Travis Smith. Travis, this one was outside of the first drive, all Rams, and it was never even close. You don't usually say in a 48-7 football game that the score is that it could have been worse, or when you look at this game, this score isn't indicating it how dominant it really was, and you don't say that at 48-7 all that often.
And it was a lot of points, a lot of opportunities left on the field by that Shepherd football team today, but they certainly had enough plays to win this ball game, and just Shippensburg was just simply overmatched. We talked about them being undersized in the trenches on the offensive and defensive side of the ball. And again, at this point in the year for Shippensburg, just the confidence has just been shaken and broken, and Shepherd was just able to make enough plays to really just to take them out of it. We talked about how Shippensburg crowd, they did a good job of traveling to support their ball club, but there was really very few plays for them to really get behind that Raiders football team today. And again, Shepherd, you got to win these type of ball games, and you're just stacking success upon success and just building towards the end of the season. And you start out 0-4, and now you're digging yourself out of the hole. Now they're above 500. Maybe breathe a little bit easier. Maybe they took it a little bit easier coming into today's game, but again, able to hopefully learn that lesson and improve moving forward.
Absolutely, and I know Shepherd looking forward to the rest of this season. Obviously, you look at starting 0-4, and most teams aren't going to be able to find a silver lining in this, but Shepherd now a path to, and a realistic path at that, to finishing with 7 wins as part of this football season. Let's go ahead and get you into the scoring recap, as this is the Palace Lounge postgame show brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edwin Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Well, it started off with Shippensburg getting the opening kickoff and taking it all the way down for a touchdown. It was a 13-play, 75-yard drive, taking 7-11 off of the clock with 7:49 remaining in the first quarter. They held the lead 7-0. Jordan Barnett would start the second quarter with a 2-yard touchdown run, capping off an 8-play, 61-yard drive with 12:32 remaining in the second quarter. Shepherd tied it at 7. Shepherd took their first lead of the game and did not look back when Grant Swinehart took it right up the middle from 3 yards out. Extra point up and good. Halfway through quarter number 2, Shepherd leads 14-7. It became 21-7 when a 40-yard catch and run from Hardyway to Batten capped off a 4-play, 60-yard drive, taking just 23 seconds off the clock. Jordan Barnett would start the second half scoring-wise with his second touchdown of the day. This one from 1 yard out, making it 28-7. Keith Baker had a couple field goals in this game. It was back-to-back drives, a 24-yard field goal, then a 34-yard field goal. And as we went to quarter number 4, Shepherd held the lead 34-7. Didn't stay that way long as Zion Grantham to start quarter number 4. Just 25 seconds in would take it in from 1 yard out to cap off a 5-play, 25-yard drive. And then Jackson Sigler would take it himself off the right side. A really good run by Sigler from 18 yards out, carried it up the right side, waited for those blockers, and took it all the way in. And that brings us to the final of 48-7. And Travis, you look at team wins and you look at how this defense has been able to improve week after week after week after week, and even in games where they played really strong in 3 quarters of the game, it seems like there's always been that one quarter where they just couldn't put everything together. This was solid from start to finish, and I think you look at a key and signature win in a season that's not going to go down as one necessarily to remember when you're looking at it 10, 15 years from now, but this win for this team, I think it's going to go a long way in the style of which they're able to win this football game.
And just when you look at the season as a whole, yes, 7-4, but the possibility if they're able to win out 7-4, yeah, that's really not going to catch your attention unless you look a little bit closer and see how they were able to dig themselves out of an 0-4 hole. Didn't look like they had a lot of answers on that field, But the coaches stuck with it. The players stuck with it. They tried various combinations. Then they started dialing up the blitzes on the defense. I think that's really going to be the point where you look at in the season where that defense really started to make strides. They didn't rely on having a lot of veterans out there or a lot of chemistry out there on the field where you can sit back, read and react, and think that you're just going to have the better football players and you're going to be able to beat teams. They realized that that's not going to be a formula for success for this unit. So they made that change. They swallowed their pride. They started dialing up blitzes, and it's a variety of blitzes. It's coming from linebackers, coming from corners, coming from safeties, and in doing so, they're able to get pressure on the quarterback, and once you're able to pressure the quarterback, that's where your turnover is going to come from, and that's what Shepherd has been able, that's when they've been able to fuel this turnaround this season, is being able to blitz, get pressure on the quarterback, and not only that, force those turnovers. And then on the offensive side of the ball, just a heavy dose of Barnett and Swinehart has really fueled this comeback for this Rams football team this season.
All righty, let's hear from Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook. This interview is powered by Wyatt Pelicano and Financial Growth Partners, where they are advancing human capital by redefining the intersection between people and money. Wyatt had a chance to catch up with Shepherd head coach Ernie Mcook just a few moments ago.
All right, guys, I'm standing here with Coach Mcook. Coach, this is the 5th straight win in a row. I know we had some problem with the penalties at the halftime, but how does it feel going into next week?
Well, I'm awful proud of our football team. We've really, when we started out 0-4, we're focusing on one game at a time, and we look at it as we're 1-0 this week. And we're going to enjoy this win as a program, and we're going to come work tomorrow and work our ass off to be 1-0 next week.
I love that. I know I told you one question, but I got one more for you, and you know I got to ask about him.
You're my guy. You can.
How about my guy, Andrew Rakowski, the big cat, coming out and being big this week?
You know, that's all about the process, who we are. You know, guys stepping up, the next man up mindset. The big cat did a great job, and I can't wait to watch it on film and watch him develop over the next week.
I love it. Thank you, Coach, very much. Congrats. You're the man.
Again, that was Wyatt Pelicano, and that interview powered by Wyatt Pelicano and Financial Growth Partners, where they are advancing human capital by redefining the intersection between people and money. And you talk about next man up, and a lot of times that phrase is used in reference to injuries, in terms of somebody not playing well. Next man up can also be a situation like this where it's, hey, we're in a situation, we can get some of these younger guys in. You're the next man up. It's your opportunity to prove why ending this year, why going into next year, we should have your name highlighted on the roster as to, hey, this guy needs to get more touches.
And it's a mentality of trying to seek value out of whatever opportunity or whatever time that you have out there on the field. Like we mentioned, this game turned into a blowout pretty early on. We kind of had an idea how this game was going to end up. But as a coach, you're looking at the film. You want to know who's going to maintain that focus, who's going to be able to battle back from adversity, who's going to be in the fight until that last bell rings. And again, you have an opportunity to learn, like you said, moving forward this season and going into next season, who are going to be the guys that you can rely on late in games, late in the season, that's going to make plays, and the Shepherd coaching staff able to come away with quite a few answers in today's contest.
All righty, let's quickly get into some post-game stats brought to you by your local full-service archery pro shop, Fort Evans Archery of Inwood. Call them at 304-229-7064. Visit fortevans.com. Let's start with some team stats. For Shippensburg, they had as many points as they did first downs, 7 for both. Rushing yards, 23 attempts, just 7 yards on the ground for the Raiders today. And through the air, just 100. So you're looking at a team that ran 47 plays and just gained 107 yards. That is just incredible defense by the Shepherd Rams today. When you look at third down conversions for Shippensburg, 2 for 13, and they were 1 for 1 on fourth down. Penalties, 6 for 44 yards. For Shepherd, 26 first downs. They ran the ball 46 times for 308 yards. We talked about how well they've run the ball this year. This one will take the cake. 166 yards in the air, so they finished 74 plays on offense for 474 yards. Just incredible day by Shepherd offensively, defensively, and on special teams. 7 penalties for 41 yards. So did clean up the penalties in that second half, which we knew they were going to have to. Time of possession, 34 minutes and 59 seconds for Shepherd. That left Shippensburg possessing the football for 24 minutes and 28 8 seconds. Let's take a look at some individual stats. Not much to talk about in terms of the Raiders running the football. Really nobody ran in the second half. These numbers are pretty similar to what we saw at halftime. Total of 6 carries for Ethan Arneson for 11 yards. Stokes added 8 yards on 4 carries. Durham added 4 yards on 3 carries. And 1 carry for Andre Weidman at the end of the game. Throwing, Riley Gunnels, 10 for 22 interceptions, 83 yards and a touchdown. Colton Kilmer came in relief, 2 for 2 for 9 yards. On the outside, 5 catches for Javon Parker, finishing with 63 yards and a touchdown. Marcus Sweeney added 2 catches as well for 10 yards. Other than that, again, not a whole lot doing when you only have 107 yards as a team on offense. For Shepherd, running the football, Jordan Barnett, 15 carries, 162 yards. Jabril Daniels, how about a name we weren't expecting to call out today? And he finished with 8 carries, 69 yards, your second leading rusher. He had a 21-yarder. Jordan Barnett to start the second half, a 51-yarder. Barnett averaging 10.8 a carry today. Grant Swinehart, 10 carries for 47 yards. And Jackson Sigler, 3 carries for 22 yards and a touchdown. Mike Hardaway, 11 for 22 on the game, 134 yards and a touchdown. Ezra Bajent finished 5 for 5 with 29 yards, a total team effort today for the Rams. On the outside, Cordell Batten, 4 catches on 7 targets for 53 yards and a touchdown. Jaden Ashby finished with 4 catches on 5 targets as well. And then a plethora of Rams adding another catch or 2 along the way. Postgame stats brought to you by your local full-service archery pro shop, Fort Evans Archery of Inwood. Call 304-229-7064 or visit fortevans.com. All right, Travis, let's get into some of these awards, the fun part. And these are going to be tough just because of how well everybody played today.
Yeah.
But let's start with our play of the game brought to you by CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg. Stop in and see them today at 48 Kelly Island Road in Martinsburg or call 304-263-8821. They're moving lives forward.
My play of the game is going to go to Clayton Batten with his interception, his 4th of the year. Gunnels just hung the ball up in the air, and Batten just did a good job making a acrobatic catch in the air. He's adjusting in the air to bring it down, and I almost got catch of the game, in my honest opinion. But for the play of the game, that's who I'm going to give it to, Clayton Batten, his interception there in the first half.
All right, let's go to collision of the game, brought to you by Cody's Auto Body at 851 Wilson Street in Martinsburg. Family-owned, offering superior custom service and great pricing for a job done by experienced certified technicians. Call 304-901-4777 or visit their Facebook page. Collision of the game, Travis.
It was a close one on that one. Part of me wants to give it to Jalen Edwards when he had the big quarterback sack later on in the game, but I got to stick with the original one. Kyrie Wimberly with the big hit on Toby Stokes there in the second quarter. My collision of the game is going to go to Kyrie Wimberly lowering the boom.
All right, we know which one it's not, so let's talk about catch of the game, brought to you by WVU Medicine, Berkeley, and Jefferson Medical Center, the leading healthcare here and everywhere.
Well, I'm going to stick with the Batten family. It's going to go to Cordell Batten, the 40-yard TD catch there in the second quarter to really kind of blow things open. It was just a nice catch, and it was a wicked throw that Hardaway was able to get him the ball, and Batten just did a good job of maintaining that concentration and then taking it to the house after he secured the catch. So my catch of the game is going to go to Cordell Batten, the 40-yard TD catch with 1:38 left in the second quarter.
All right, and the big one, player of the game, brought to you by CMA Honda of Winchester, located at 3985 Valley Pike in Winchester. Call 540-686-1622 at CMA Honda of Winchester. Owners just care more about you.
Well, he had so many close calls early in the season. Now he seems like he's making up for lost time. So I'm going to go with the player of the game, Jordan Barnett. 15 carries, 162 yards, averaging 10.8 yards per carry, 2 touchdowns. He has just been an absolute monster down the stretch for this Rams ball club. My play of the game, Jordan Barnett.
You're going to look at me funny when I say this. I want to give an honorable mention to Keith Baker.
Okay.
He is a guy that has had to work through a lot of struggles early coming in, and we have we've certainly been critical of some things on some extra points and some field goals. He came in a couple of field goals today, perfect on his PATs, so I'm going to give him an honorable mention because, again, this is a guy that wasn't expecting to see a whole lot of playing time this year with Barba, and with injuries, he has now come in, he's fought through some adversity, and had himself a very good game today. He could have very well been the one guy going And, well, they had a really good game, except they missed an extra point or they missed a field goal. You know what? He just added to it. It was a good game all the way around, him included. So I'm gonna throw an honorable mention in for Baker as well.
I respect that honorable mention. Good call.
All righty. That is going to wrap up our post-game show, brought to you by the Palace Lounge on Edward Miller Boulevard in Martinsburg, with a full lunch and dinner menu with daily specials and a clean, comfortable atmosphere. Check out the menu of the Palace Lounge Facebook page. Check out the menu on the Palace Lounge Facebook page. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us at Rams Stadium. Our next broadcast, we will be at Lock Haven University. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff. Next week, 12:30, will be our pregame show on TV10 and WRNR TV on YouTube. I want to remind you one final time, our final here at Ram Stadium, 48-7, Shepherd sinking the ship and beating the Shippensburg University Raiders to improve to 5-4, 5-1 in the PSAC East. Shippensburg now 2-7, 2-4 in the PSAC East. This has been Shepherd Football on TV10. We will see you next week at Lock Haven.
Fort Evans Archery of Inwood is your local full-service archery pro shop with sales and setup, maintenance, repairs, and sight-ins. Fort Evans Archery is a full-stocking dealer for all your favorites like Hoyt, Matthews, Elite, Bowtech, Mission, and Bear, with crossbows from Raven, 10-point, Barnett, and Excalibur. And Fort Evans Archery has a sight range out to 60 yards. Fort Evans Archery, 998 Ardenelville Road, Suite 2, Inwood, open Tuesday to Friday, 10 a.m. until 6, Saturdays 9:30 to 4. FortEvansArchery.com.
It's the new normal. You live, work, and play everywhere. Whether it's the family car or the family business, you need insurance that keeps pace with your changing life. Home on the job or working from home, peace of mind comes from knowing your whole world is covered. No matter what happens or how big it grows, whatever your new normal, Erie Insurance's award-winning service and personal agents can keep pace. Call your local agent today or visit erieinsurance.com for a quote.
I love it when people ask me which of the Skinner brothers is younger.
I love it when people ask me, who's taller?
I love it when people get us confused.
You do? Really?
No.
At least they're not confused about what the Skinners do.
If you're hurt in almost heaven, dial the sevens. 304-777-7777.
SkinnerWins.com.
When it comes to providing you with a better car buying experience, CMA's Honda of Winchester takes it personally. Why? Because we're employee owned. That makes us neighbors, and good neighbors take care of each other. Come experience the honesty, transparency, and value we provide every customer, every neighbor, each and every day. At CMA's Honda of Winchester, owners just care more about you.
Welcome into the post-game show brought to you by Floor Pools. Currently have some PSAC score updates for you, as was watching the Bloomsburg-Westchester game go into triple overtime as Westchester gets the win in that one, but I'll get to that in a second. Number 3 team in the nation, Kutztown, beating East Stroudsburg 49-6. Lock Haven beating Millersville 42-7. Edinboro 22-6. And as I just said, Westchester getting a win in triple overtime over Bloomsburg, as both teams scored touchdowns, and then Westchester was the only team able to get a 2-point conversion as Bloomsburg's pass got broken up. Clarion Slippery Rock, that game is in the fourth quarter. Currently it's still 28-17 with 10 minutes left in that game. Gannon, Indiana, that game is at halftime with Indiana winning by 10 points. Currently in your Mountain East Conference, you've got a couple games wrapped up as well. Let me get you a score update because I can't find it right here. Give me 1 second, please. But while we're waiting on those, Frostburg State in California, PA, California is beating the number 24, as it says right here, team in the nation. 24-19 as California, PA is currently getting a win in that game. In the third quarter, that game is in the fourth quarter, just started not too long ago. Charleston beating West Virginia Wesleyan 55-9. Fairmont State losing to West Liberty, as that game is in the fourth quarter. As the start of the fourth quarter, that game is 35-28. Concord losing to Wheeling. That game is final. 26-21 was your final score in that game. And then Glenville State versus West Virginia State. Let me get you the update on that one as well. Your Frostburg game, I believe I just told you that. Let me double check. Okay, yep, apologies. Got some things going wrong with this. Your West Virginia State, that game is currently 42-21 as Glenville is currently losing. But they have the ball, so they're driving down the fourth quarter as there was just a flag thrown. West Virginia fans, you got something to be happy about as you're currently winning 45-35 against the number 22 team in the nation against Houston with 3 minutes left in the fourth quarter, hoping that your West Virginia team can hang on. Marshall, they played Thursday, so they don't have a game today. They lost to Coastal Carolina 44-27. JMU, they don't play until next Saturday, and that next Saturday game is against Marshall, but they did win their Tuesday game against Texas State. They won that 56-20, and then Liberty plays Delaware at 3:30, so that game's about to kick off here in about 7 minutes. Some 1 o'clock games some 12 1 o'clock games, some games in the earlier slate for you here in a second. Penn State losing to Ohio State 38-14 was the final in that one. Some other games that you got going on still about to end. Number 20 team beating number 9 Vanderbilt. You got Texas beating Vanderbilt 34-24. That game has a minute 50 left in the fourth quarter. Miami beating SMU 20-17 as Miami is number 10 in the nation. Louisville in the end of the first quarter, almost halfway through the first quarter, number 16 Louisville is currently winning 7-0 over Virginia Tech. WVU, as I said, is winning. You have UCF currently losing to Baylor 30-3. Arizona State currently winning against Iowa State. That game is 23-16. And those are the only current headlining games that I have for you right now. Some games starting at 3:30 and beyond. You have 3:30 game. You have number 2 Indiana playing Maryland. You have number 5 Georgia playing at home against Florida. Number 7 Ole Miss playing at home against South Carolina. Georgia Tech on the road at NC State. Notre Dame is the number 12 team on the road against Boston College. Number 13 team Texas Tech playing Kansas State. They are on the road at Kansas State. Number 18 playing number 14 as your Oklahoma. The Oklahoma is playing Tennessee at Tennessee. Virginia traveling to Cal University. You have Cincinnati, number 17 team playing Utah, which is the number 24th team. I believe that's the college game day game as well. Purdue playing the number 21 Michigan. USC traveling to Nebraska to play them. And that is all of your games that are highlightable in my knowledge. Let me scroll down and see here if I can see anything else. No, so those are the only games that I have for you right now. Let's see if we can get you any updates before I send you out of here. Like I said, Westchester pulling off that win. Fairmont State currently game. IUP is still currently at halftime. And Slippery Rock, as they are winning the game currently. I'm Kyler High. TV10 on YouTube, or WRNR on YouTube, or TV. I've been Kyler High. Have a great night and be safe.
You've been watching play-by-play coverage of NCAA Division II football featuring the Shepherd University Rams and the Pennsylvania State Athletic Conference. Today's telecast has been brought to you by W. Harley Miller Systems, Smallwood and Small Insurance Agency, Powered Beck and Matzaref Law Offices, Senate Finance Chairman Jason Barrett, Hagerstown Ford, Fort Evans Archery, Rocks Local Markets, the Brown Funeral Home and Cremations, Robert Fields and Sons, the Larry DeMarco team at Century 21 Modern Realty Results, Burke, Schultz, Harmon, and Jenkinson, personal injury attorneys, Cody's Auto Body, the Palace Lounge, Parsons Ford of Martinsburg, the Skinner Accident and Injury Lawyers, the Berkeley County Health Department, Bodwell Insurance Solutions, Ameriprise Financial and the Mirius Group of Financial Advisors, WVU Medicine Berkeley and Jefferson Medical Centers, the Mansion Ferretti Law Firm, CMA Honda of Winchester, CMA Chevy and Toyota of Martinsburg, CMA Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram of Martinsburg, Dignity Memorial Rosedale Funeral Home and Cemetery of Martinsburg, Floor Pools of Martinsburg, Hagerstown, and Chambersburg, Inferno Brewery and Andy's Pizza. TV 10 Sports thanks you for watching today's presentation of Shepherd University Rams football. All rights reserved.